Yo. First time doing. Let's see what's up, it's your boy GB. Back doing my nerd stuff. You know what I'm saying? First time being on live on YouTube. So it's right now it's 1:48 Eastern time right now, so I'm a little tired. Usually stay up at night, got insomnia. It's all good. But just to get it started, let me go and take my Z-Coil. Let me do that right now. Good stuff. Make sure you follow the direction. You should follow the direction. So but because my buddy's so used to this type of stuff, me too. Alright, cool. Washed it down with some trying to get my weight back due to pressure and a lot of other stuff from my last career. So good for protein, good to gain weight and all that good stuff. I hate chocolate though. Save the rest for like if I get a win or something like that. Probably within the next within the next 10 minutes. It tastes better when it's cold. Alright, let me go ahead and see if I can post this. Let's see if I may have people to jump on my YouTube. Slow motion is better than no motion. Always remember that. I will start soon. Just trying to figure out this whole social media thing. Okay, that's go to this thing. Video. Should have the thing follow already. I'm guessing you'd be a card game. It must be this one then. Okay, it has to be this one. World Championship. Yep, that's it. Cool. Yeah, it's not that cool. Let's go ahead and post this. let's start off with this rank. I'll try Twitch again tomorrow. Before I start, let me see what I got going on here. I haven't been on here for a minute. 2,644 gems. Proceed. Yeah, I need to get a lot because I haven't been on here for a minute. Applications. No, something else I think. Dual pass. My dual pass is good. I don't think it is. Check one more thing. Nah, I'm brokey right now. Alright, man, let's go. I'll probably get this time is up. I'll give it what? It's 154. I'll give it like 30. Standard season 39 has begun. Damn, we're already in season 39. I'm a rookie. A rookie tier 1. I thought I was on Emerald. Well, we're gonna go with the deck I usually like to play with. I like to play with zombies. I'm getting some new glasses. Thing all bent up. Skip this turn, okay. It's been a minute, Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll give it 30 minutes. It depends how I'm feeling. So you got the element hero. Oh boy. This card cool. I got this on the field. We'll banish this card. Start flip. Favorite hero. monster type of monster that has a higher attack type of okay, I'm trying to take my defense guy off. I'm trying to learn how to use the deck. Oh yeah, I'm about to win this. Take you see into the shadow realm. Can you also destroy face down cards? I got the one card. Game is probably over. It's all about that, man. Kind of slow. I know support part too. That was stupid of me, I wasn't thinking. Unless right can get destroyed by battle. That's a nice little card in there. Well played. I was gonna take you out. You know what's crazy about these type of games, man? It could be like the whole situation could change. Like I could lose if I'm not careful. I got some strong, heavy hitters. Crazy stuff. Get them out of here. I'll give you a chance. I'll banish your card though. I don't need that card out in here anymore. Give you a chance, whatever. Give you a chance, buddy. What you gonna do, brother? Should I be petty? We got 30 cards left, 2 cards in this one left. There it goes. I see one little camera thingy. It is what it is. I'll take your health down just a little bit. If you have any funny ideas. Just even crazy ideas. Get that. Who do you think's gonna win? They got a lot more views on Twitch. I need to find a way to get these views so I can. I'm not thinking of the price right now. Oh, they surrender. Not bad. First game on for the night. March 10th, 2025. I'm ready to 30 an hour. I'll do an hour here. Probably 4. I'll be sleeping. Hopefully, I'll go first. I'll do an hour. 30 minutes. 45 minutes. At 30 minutes to 45 minutes. I don't hurt though. Give it a real good chance. So that's all I got. What the fuck was that? I know I haven't done a reaction video yet. I'm trying to keep it neutral as possible. I mean natural. So I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and do like a little video reaction. Honestly, I guess Ronnie responded to Stephen A. I think he said something about having to play basketball, making the most noise, something like that. Not word for word, but that's damn right. So who is this guy? What's your business here? I want to get 29 cards. So you got 29 cards. I got loaded. Got these off early. Cool. know
Do you
what?
want to
I'm gonna
play a
stay
match
on
with me? Like, comment your ID,
for
and
a minute.
subscribe to my page for more.
Yeah, let's give it a chance. I don't know, last time I did like a 4 or 5 hour stream on Twitch. I got some views, so I ain't trying to do that long. Hopefully YouTube could be more of a better algorithm to that. Hopefully we got something going on. And the fusion monster in the field to show about that or card effect and sent to the girl. You can target one and you're gonna okay, got this going on. Look at those damage, okay. Okay. Okay, it's time. Okay.
Yo WSP.
This can get destroyed. One more card left. I should do. Goodies. Oh, someone left a message. Yo. I got somebody in there. What's up?
You.
I think it says someone. Pin your message. What's up, someone? How you doing today? What's the name? What time is it right now? Where you at? As far as like time zone, like, well, just give me what time is it, and give me what time. I don't even know your exact location. Please do not tell me your exact location. I am not interested to know. And I don't want nobody like being weird or popping up to your residence. Why don't you tell me that you left your comment? Now I'm looking at the monitor though. It's crazy. Hey, it might be a little challenge. You're still on the first or second. You're someone. Can you subscribe to my YouTube page? Someone at someone dash B9S. Shout out to them. Just made your YouTube account on February 13th, 2025. Congratulations. Welcome to the YouTube community. This is what I'm gonna do. Reply to this. Activity. What time? I'm going to go in months mode. What time is it for you right now on this planet? What time is it? What time it is? for you. Right. On this planet. The ET emoji. I'm weird, bro. I told you I'm a nerd. Chill, cool nerd though, I think. A nerd with talents. A nerd that is brave. I'm not standing up for others and for himself. Depending on the situation. Like, you know, they have tears. Like in Ninja World, you know. Naruto was called like C grade. No, C mission, D mission, B mission, A. You know, when it comes to the S mission, you know, you really gotta really think if it's worth fighting or not. I feel like someone's outside here. I'm just grabbing something to get out of okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this. Alright. Battle. See, that's my guy right here. All purple too. Attack. Do this. What's this about? What was that? That activate. Why not? Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Get one out of car, boy. Make you surrender, boy. Second person in a row, surrender to GB. Shadow Kage. Alright. 2-0. Alright, Browns. Rookie tier 1 to Browns tier 5. Next Browns tier 4. Man. I do need some chips, but it makes no sense because chips got a lot of like salt in it. I ain't trying to stay up. I just took my night cool. Match number 3 for today.
What time is it for you right now on this planet, Emoji globe showing Europe Africa. Emoji alien. Emoji flying saucer.
think someone left. It's all good. The grind don't stop. Thank you for stopping by, someone. You know what? I really want to hit this Karibo, but I know that I might not get nothing good for it. So let me just play it safe. So let me play it safe. Let's increase my odds of getting Zombie World. It's waterfront. We're gonna have some crazy stuff going on, so I'm gonna take him out quick. And we're gonna play with him. Come on, we'll get some good luck on that. Say this, let's check this real. I want him to be destroyed. I'll wait till you get like 1 card or 2 cards next game. That's quite possible. Come on. Move. I might as well put this phone on the charger. Oh, they surrender. 3 surrenders. Back to back. Just like that. Back to back to back. Gotta catch up on some entertainment news or something. Time be going by fast. Catch up with someone. Shit, night goes off from sleep all the time. He's mad that he don't got pro. Bitch academic, bro, going through it. Academic teacher saying, Drake and the orange slipper.
Hey Drake, I like how the bell bottoms look on you. Look at the play Amazon. Aubrey, what are you doing?
I came here to tell you I'm sorry. He's killing me out here. Y'all told me it was just a humiliation ritual.
Well, that's what it was gonna be. But you had to take it too far.
No. I didn't understand what it meant. Please take me back, please. They're making fun of me out here. I just want to go back to doing Drake things, stealing people's girlfriends, being light-skinned. Please, I'll do anything. You know I will, nigga. You know I will do anything, man. Come upstairs right now. Polish you off, please.
It's over, Aubrey. I got a real one now, yeah? Darker skin, sassy hips, and them bell bottoms. And he has the whole culture wrapped around his wee little finger. You're done, Aubrey.
Lucien, please. Lucien, no, don't do me like this. I ain't gonna have no money, nigga. No more bitches. I done got this BBL dingling for nothing. Help me! He won't take me back. I tried. I just came from his house. He said no.
I'm so sorry, Drake. I wish I could come over and give you a big old hug.
I wish I could see you too, but we gotta stay away from each other.
But why?
Because I was dating you when you were a minor. He even got me saying it now. What am I supposed to do?
I'm gonna come over.
Just use the back door. And don't forget to bring your friends.
Which one? I got 2 pepperoni pizzas here.
I guess the YouTube credit is called Morbid Melon, M-O-R-B-I-D, Melon, M-E-L-O-N. M for Mike, E for Echo, L for Lima, O for Oscar, N for November. And it says Drake and the Orange Slipper. I'm not interested in watching this. That would be like more of when you do it off the balcony. I mean that balcony from his president suite. God, TV 28, yo. Oh snap, tripping. A rapper would dig up his off dead body and film it. Yeah, most likely so something really it's crazy. They did a number of us with that. Psychological warfare for real. And it, yeah. What do let's watch this. Suge Knight goes off on Snoop Dogg saying he's mad he on death row.
You bought death row? What you got? Set me up. Show me where y'all paid the money to buy it. Show me how you and Mike.
So this is from the Art of Dialogue YouTube account. It's been posted 9 hours ago. Has over 54,000 views right now. This is about It's kind of hard to be hearing these type of conversations over the phone. Joe call. So shout out to Tory Lane's engineer making it like the album
Joe
dope.
call, right?
Jail call. That was crazy.
Show me what you own.
So I mean mixing. I mean, for those who wants to listen to the thing, I'm gonna restart it. Only played about 38 seconds, but like, if technology for mixing and mastering is getting up there like that, I think we should be coming around the corner with a lot more quality music very soon, especially for myself. I'm talking about, you will know, you'll see. I'm a very big deal, especially with the right set of people I'm around and funds and allocations, and the rest is history. It'll be easy, just send to the graveyard, send to the graveyard, send to the graveyard. Send to the I sent the wrong shit to the graveyard. That's okay. I got this card. Ooh. Gonna banish it. Damn. This might be my first match I lose, by the way. It's all good. Oh, I can use this. Perfect. It's gonna get banished anyway. You wasted your spell. Right, spell card, right? Yep. And it's an ultra rare spell card that you wasted. Hey, listen, baby, I'm about to go to the grave, to the banished realm anyway. I'm gonna call it the banished realm. That's what I'm gonna call this. Graveyard realm, banished realm. That's just about Black Awakening. Ooh, special ones on this man. I might need this. I don't know if I have a copy of this. Maybe I don't need it. Let's see if you run this. So zombie versus zombie. Who is the true zombie king? I'm a Zor. If you know, you know. Can I use this now? Damn, I need a better face. Can I use this? Am I reading this right? More cars than you. Oops. No, wait. This is what we're going to do. Okay, 800 damage to your opponent. Push on strike, get the monster reborn bone. Deck devastation virus. Let's put it go on. Let's keep them. I'm gonna make this one. Put that. And a clean slate. Let's just go now. I got two of these. I don't need you coming out no more. You'll keep getting on my nerve. He's about to quit too. Should be winning. If he attacked me, he's going to lose. I like car strategy game, but let me get back to this football thing.
Snoop, you said I'm mad because you bought that bro? What you buy? Set me up. Show me where y'all paid the money to buy it. Show me how you and Mike, as y'all want to call the rats, own the company. Show me the paperwork. Show me what you own. Now, you were representing Death Row when you was on Death Row. I gave you your label. You had Doggy Style. And I gave you the money to start that label. Remember? You had an artist named Trade E. Trade E, you put out.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
You never paid him. He shoot your house up. He killed the house when he shot the house up. You take the video, take it to the DA. The DA looks at the video, arrest Trainee, who's on Doggy Style, and they tell him, either you gonna get life or you can take a deal for 10 years. Trainee went and took the deal for 10 years, said Assalamu alaikum, became Muslim, and gave his time. Now, let's not remember, you was running Death Jail. Did you do anything good for Death Jail? Absolutely not. Now, you want to start something that has nothing to do with you. You're going backwards. You're trying to create something that should like you. But instead of making something big, you disappoint the world by making everything flops. When I put out the Dog Pound, they sold records. You put out on the Dog Pound, they sold nothing. It flopped. You and Andre got together. Andre said it's the best album he ever did his whole life. Well, we cannot tell because it came and went so fast. Not to mention, you know and I know the truth. But whatever you want to say is your choice. But back to my case, I'm in prison for making sure these dudes didn't go to prison. When you look at Snoop, you gotta look at it like this. All the money I paid to the DA, all the money I paid to the PI, after your own homie snitched on you. After I paid the money to Johnny Carson to represent somebody, this person represents somebody. The bodyguard you had released, a good young man, you ruined that man's life. You know he didn't shoot nobody. He know he didn't shoot nobody. Once I got him to take the case for you, you never spoke to that man again. You didn't give him $1. You burnt him. That's coward. That's bitch shit. You still owe me money. When you turned around and got sued for the soul case, I just found out you never paid my money back. I had to pay you some of that money. You didn't have an album out. You owe me money. But you ain't too smart. Because if somebody really owes you, if you really owe somebody, pay that person their money. You're going to spend more money on beating up security or living in fear. Or, when I come home, knock on my door, explain to me why you guys don't want me my friend. You don't got to talk tough. We don't got to talk about each other. That gets lonely. Whoever have a situation, we can have a situation. But one person or 3 or 4 people is not bigger than hip-hop. We should be trying to figure out how to make hip-hop better. Everybody's destroying hip-hop. You guys are making it worse. If they doing streams, and if you do 1 million streams and you only get $300, if that's not a sign of slavery, that's worse than being a slave. Snoop, that's getting raped without the baby oil. But at the same time, what are you talking about? If you have death row, you destroy it. Why you not doing something no limit? You didn't want to be on death row. You was a no limit soldier. Want you the same guy saying you had to get away from killed his own daughter. However, I told you that you didn't say this. You didn't say it to me personally. We all know you said it. For doing something against the homie, the last thing I want to see you in handcuffs. I know you can't handle it. I know you can't deal with this. And I don't
Someone
want
just
to
left the comment, shook snitching on
you're not
everybody.
going to be on prison.
After 5 minutes, 46 second mark.
But you know your role you
Oh, snap.
participated in.
It's crazy. It's just
You
coming
know
and I would just
your
pass
role,
that.
what you put up.
Because just
And for
6
you to
minutes.
still lie, speak on pop, like y'all was friends.
They banished my shit.
It's sad to the fact that
He ain't
now y'all
doing
came
it.
when you guys got it started.
No, he
Nobody
like
did
doing
any
it.
songs with him when he was gone. See what I'm trying to say is this. We need to grow. And the main thing is like, you get a guy, I don't know this guy named Racist. Somebody sent me a picture of him with all the plaques of all the music got put out. He's standing in front of these plaques. Those not
I
real
don't
plaques.
understand.
That's something he made on his own. It's a sad thing, but the people who have death row chains never got a death row chain for me. So why aren't you wearing the death row chain? Everybody wants Cheney's life. The ones who ain't did shit want to be somebody. I don't got to talk about nobody. Only thing I can do is be myself and tell my own story. All this extra, I'm not going to argue about nobody. Even when people go to talk about my kids, I love all my kids. I can name all my kids. Taj, Arian,
I'm fixing the
Sure.
Japanese or Chinese. Forgive me from I'm not so familiar with this. So look at the username. Let me know. Is that Chinese or Japanese?
Sosa, Magic. Now, truth be told, Chef, I took care of him since he was a baby. I'm not his biological father. Andrew, don't have nothing against him. Everybody says, oh, you got a gay son. Okay, Andrew's gay, but he's not my son. So, everybody will attack. But one thing about me is I love my kids. And you can get people who try to rewrite history. You can get people who can say something negative about me. It could be a baby.
This is my stage to express myself honestly.
DDG.
What it means is just being as honest as possible with
What's going on with DDG? They said DDG and Hallie. Drama. Let's see what's cracking. What? Oh, yeah, we gotta get all into it. And, let me go open up. Yeah, DD's been popping off on Twitch recently. Like, he's been really going up. Let me get on this page. What happened? Here we go. Recent broadcast. Okay, so he only streamed for 14 minutes. Let's go. Let's react to his stream real quick. Hey, can you not hear this? Is he muted?
To a point where I feel like I'm honestly getting bullied, you know, when it comes to me just wanting to just be a dad. Y'all know how much, like, I love Halo. It's literally the best thing that ever happened to me. And this is literally my last resort. I feel like I don't have no type of, like, shit hurt, bro. Like, I don't have no type of say-so. And I keep getting this word thrown around like this. I don't give a fuck if this make me seem childish. I just want to be able to see my son when I want to see my son, take my son when I want to take my son. Like, I don't care if this make me look childish, if I look like I'm on the internet crazy, whatever the fuck. I don't care, bro. Like, I don't care what nobody thinks. I literally just want to be in my son's life. And I feel like I'm getting bullied. I'm constantly being called a secondary parent, not a primary parent. And it's like, I just don't know what to do at this point. I don't know what to do.
Alright. Oh, shit.
I ever watch. I know I use the Snapchat, but I get to see him. I don't know what to do.
Okay, I'm gonna react to this in real time. Yo, DDG, man. Yo, let me tell you, man.
It's my third or fourth match. People surrounding me.
You about to go through the ringer, gang. You're blowing up on Twitch. By the way, you've conquered every platform. Hands up and clap it up for DDG, one of our greatest black creators. He's dominated with vlogs. He's dominated with any type of content. DDG is a nigga who basically went to baseball, hockey, football, basketball, and he figured out the meta everywhere and made the all-star team. This guy is, as you know, y'all love to clown him sometimes, but that boy is going to be on the Mount Rushmore of black creators. That's a fact. Now, let's just be very clear and very honest, man.
Pause this for a second. Man, the grind is real. I'm gonna stay here longer than I already right now. Wants her own daughter.
DDG.
Make sure nobody leave a comment. Cool. Back to the
football, basketball, and he figured out the meta everywhere and made the all-star team. This guy is, as you know, y'all love to clown him sometimes, but that boy is going to be on the Mount Rushmore of black creators. That's a fact. Now, let's just be very clear and very honest. Man, DDG, you know damn well what's going on. Now, obviously, you're in the midst of it, so it's hard to see the forest from the trees. But you, if it was somebody else and not your situation, and probably not so emotional because it's your son, you'd probably be able to understand what's going on. DDG, you're blowing up on Twitch, you're killing shit, and what's happening is your baby mama is seeing you with different bitches every night. You out here looking like a ladies' man. Every time I see you on Shade Room Teens, or I see even Grant and them post you on the stream page, I see bitches rubbing on you, you rizzing them up. Yo, your baby mama don't want to be sitting home watching you just flirt with bitches. And then, yo, let me tell you, when you have a baby by a girl, she gonna get compliance out of you some way, somehow. Let me tell you this, a lot of women believe that when they have a child with you, it's not just y'all agreed to consensual sex that created a human being and y'all are both responsible. A lot of times women look at it like, yo, I sacrificed my livelihood. I sacrificed how I could be living to do this. And when the relationship don't work out, yeah, it's going to be all hell to pay. It's going to be all hell to pay. Now, if you stay under that woman's thumb and she could control you, tell you when to move, jump, sit, speak, when she say jump, you say how high, y'all going to have a good relationship. But God forbid, you're a creator. You're an entertainer. So now you're on stream entertaining maybe other females, maybe just for content, but you're doing it. You're having a good old time. At a certain point, she going to sit there and she going to look like the nigga from Belly. So I don't like that shit. She gonna start looking like this. Let me play the scene. She don't like that shit. That's the point. Right there. She see you riding with the new joints. They feeling you. Like, yo, right now. Like, listen, I know. Me and Twitch, we got to figure out what we're going to do, but we'll get there. Listen, right now, you know what's popping off on Twitch? It's the freaky meta. It's the freaky meta. That's a fact. The J Cinco's. By the way, salute to J Cinco. Keep doing your thing. I like how you responded. He said, man, Twitch ain't gonna, yo, listen, I get freaky with bitches. He ain't say freaky, but like, I do my thing with hoes. You ain't gonna stop me. My man, Deshae. Come on, man. Everybody do the frost-a-thon, the freak-a-thon. Stop playing, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these new guys who are either coming over from other platforms, the way they're engaging the audience, they're like, yo, Kai's a one-on-one. Kai could just sit there and entertain a bunch of kids by dancing, cracking. Like, he got, that nigga's an SNL type of nigga. Some of these guys, they ain't gonna do all that. They gonna come on here and just bring some bad bitches y'all want and rizz them up. And basically, yeah, that's entertainment. DDG, that's not all DDG content, but you know, that's part of it. It's always a part of it. That nigga, like, bro, nigga was David Kennedy back in the day. Stop lying. You know what I mean? The shades, the motherfucking J Cinco's and all of them. So anyway, here's what. DDG's baby mama is sitting back, and I knew it was a matter of time. She's sitting back like this, watching him rizz up every new baddie, and everybody like, damn, yo, DDG, she on you. You know these shade room team pages love, like, why DDG look at her like that? He want her real bad. He want her real bad. And Hallie's just sitting back like this. This is Hallie right here.
Might have to drop a dime on them niggas. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Stop. I don't like that shit. For sure, bro. I don't like that shit.
She don't like that shit. She don't like that shit. The fuck you mean? She don't like that shit. So, here's the thing. If she gets you to act right, because let me tell you this. Yo, newsflash to everybody, and again, this is why I want Unk status, because I want to be able to say some shit that when people like, why are you saying that? No, it's real, my nigga. I'm telling you some real shit. Hey, put it like this. When it comes to, like, a woman who had a kid with a man, you feel what I'm saying? I know they're not together, but I guarantee Hallie is feeling like she's getting clowned out. Because people gonna be like, damn, look, yo, your baby daddy thirsty. Look what your baby daddy doing. Your baby daddy always with a new bitch. She feels clowned out. His actions, even if they're not together, her friends in her ear like, yo, your baby daddy all over the place. He always with a new bitch. God damn, like, damn, why you have a baby with that nigga? That nigga so thirsty. Nobody talk more shit about you than your hating ass friends or your girlfriend or baby mama. Trust. They in her ear just, dang, to Hallie. Like, yo, why you be dropping, you be dropping your baby over there? He always have a new bitch at his crib. Like, why you be doing that? Like, what the fuck? Why you be acting so thirsty? Okay. What did you even see in that nigga? Trust. That's what's happening, bro. Nigga, we've seen 14,000 baby moms. Ain't none of them special. They all act alike.
And that's why I just, like, maybe this will make her want to have to let me see my son. But I get to see him.
Chat, y'all knew it was coming when she, like, the nigga had her on stream before, but the moment he brought his kid on Kai's stream, no, he had his kid on stream before. The moment he brought his kid on Kai's stream, his baby mama started tweeting like, yo, I ain't approve that. And he like, what the fuck? I brought my kid on my own stream and you ain't have to approve that. Like, why you gotta approve this? And then she realized that people weren't jacking her, and she came back with some BS like, oh no, whatever. Oh, my bad. Like, we should have just communicated.
But it's very minimal time. Like, if y'all ever watch, I know I usually Snapchat when I'm with my son. I live stream every day, so y'all kind of get to see. Nigga, I've been around girls all week because I don't get the chance to be a dad when I want to be a dad. Like, I don't give a fuck about hanging around no girls. I want to be around my son. You feel me? But since I can't be around my son, I'm obviously going to work. I'm not going to sit in the crib, look at the...
Yo, DDG, I'm going to keep it a being with you. Shorty ain't going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. She going to put you in a position where if you want to be around your kid in the capacity you want to be around your kid,
Oh, no.
You gotta stop showcasing that you're around bitches.
Yeah.
You gotta seem mad lonely, mad just whatever. She's using this to control your perception online. She don't want her kid with the baby daddy that's looking like the womanizer, even though you're not together. Right? This is like, listen, when you have a baby mom, she gonna use this as she gonna use this as leverage to get what she want. She gonna use this to get compliance. DDG, she tired of seeing you with mad hoes. That's a fact. Whether she wants you back or not, her friends is in her ear telling her you clowning them out. Yeah, your baby daddy thirsty as fuck. Your baby daddy, like, he be doing too much.
Wall and cry about the shit, you know? I'm gonna go work. So it's like every single day or every other day I'm trying.
Yo, your baby, Halle looked at it and said, I bet this, I ain't gonna hold you. Word 2, I swear. DDG, this was the last time, nigga, you lost custody this moment. This was the last time you was not gonna cook with Kaya or no other bitch after this.
Your favorite TV shows are on YouTube. Enjoy the latest releases. Get Crunchyroll, AMC Plus, Max, and more. Find your favorite movies and TV on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, all of this?
Cook every day.
Yeah. Yo, let me tell you this. Your baby mama thinking, yo, DDJ never cut a fucking onion when he was with me. This nigga's over here cutting up steak. He's cutting onions. He's seasoning food. Yo, while she's taking care of the kid while you do this fuck shit, you know what she says? I don't like this shit. That's what she fucking said, nigga. I don't like this shit. Exactly.
Trying to see him. I'm trying to get him to come over or whatever. I never get him dropped off. I always go pick him up. I live far as shit. So I'm driving hours to go get him, and then I get there and I can't get him. Or I can't see him. My son is sick right now. I want to see my son. I want to hold my son. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I just want to comfort him. I want to put him in the shower, get some steam in his nose so he can feel better. I don't get the chance to do that. I get pinned against the wall, and then...
You know what the funny thing is? She gonna, let me tell you, I'm telling you how this gonna go. Look, like, again, I got nothing wrong with Halle, you feel me? Halle Bailey? I don't got no problem with her. I know y'all gonna be like, I hate women. Nah, nigga, I'm just keeping it a beam, bro. Here's my thing. What she's always gonna use against this nigga is that, yo, first of all, you're bringing bitches on your stream, and then also you're bringing my son on the same streams. Like, whether they're with the bitches or they're not with the bitches, you're using my son to get this stream shit popping, that you're also bringing women to get this shit popping. You're mixing it up. I don't like that shit. Case in point. Now, she ain't gonna acknowledge that. Look at her Instagram. She got the booty shorts on, and she taking pictures with the kid. That don't matter. It don't matter. Now, you don't feel me? Like, play this. The audacity, she's saying, well, I can have my kid on my Instagram. That ain't no problem. But if you want to have my kid or our kid on your stream, you should ask me for permission. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of times niggas be having baby mamas. You just signed up for a boss. This is why niggas don't want to get married. When you get married to a woman, you just made a bitch your boss. That's a fact. She's not your boss. You got to ask her permission to stay out late with the homies. You got to ask her permission to do that. That's how women look at a lot of things. This is why, like, sometimes you got to have that hands-off approach. She has a baby with him. Let me ask y'all a question, just based on what we're hearing so far. Do you think that she views this as an equal parenting thing? If she's throwing around things like secondary parent, or she's looking at it like, I'm the boss of this parenthood shit. If you want to do something with my child, get permission from me. What you think? Come on, bro. Y'all niggas know what it is. She can post all day with her kid. You feel what I'm saying? Like, look, nigga, every third picture she got with the kid. But the nigga bring her on stream. Why? Because when he bring her on stream, and then maybe people tune in like, oh shit, this is DDG and Halo. Then the next stream, he got some bitches he risen up. He about to go fuck Kaya, after she tenderized that steak. She about to tenderize that pussy. You know what I mean? Like, she don't like that shit. She don't like that. She don't like that shit. She ain't gonna do postpartum for that. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee she would have no problem if that nigga was on there with no other woman in sight. But here's the thing, this is Twitch. You got a bunch of horny niggas that want to see you with the hoes. They want to see you risen. They want to see you cooking up. They want to see like Lala, like, you know what I mean, about to fuck you. Like they want to see these like bitches trying to be on your dick. It's a fact. They want to see you like dirty Mac, and like everybody know that DDG the dirty Mac kid. Everybody know that. Not your baby moms. She don't want to see that shit. She don't want to see that shit. That shit not popping. Feel me? Let's go back.
Everything else is variables on why I can't see my son. You feel me? Like it don't have nothing to do with me working, by the way. I'm not gonna air out her business, but me and her has not been together for a long time. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's been going on for a minute where
he alluded to it.
I just never got on the internet and said nothing. I mean, I might like throw like little subliminals or some shit like that, but it's like, bro, like, I don't want to get on the internet because at the end of the day, you know, this is something that can really like fuck with him. But I'm really just coming on this motherfucker as just a dad that really don't know what to do at this point. I've been dealing with this shit since he's been born, damn near. It's like I really feel like I'm.
Yo, man, we gonna have to take some responsibility too. Don't take this whole segment to make it like I'm downing on women. Yo, man, I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. We fuck a chick, piping her out. We nutting her. She gotta go through 9 months of pregnancy. We just chilling, still fucking other hoes. Feel me? The kid comes. The kid gotta stay with her primarily because she breastfeeds, doing all that mommy shit. We still fucking other hoes. I bet this 4 or 5 months now, her body's kind of snapping back, but she still got that little pouch. Everybody know that pouch. She feeling insecure because she don't think she is beautiful. We still fucking them other hoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie. I understand females a little bit. Like, I get it. Like, yo, I'm like, if I'm a female, bruh, I just went through like a year and a half of all this turmoil. Like, you're not gonna just keep running around and fuck these other bitches, or maybe not fuck them, but entertain them, or like not realize what I went through. Like, you gotta give me some grace. You gotta give me like, don't be embarrassing me type shit. Feel me? I don't want to see your ass with no Zoe Spencer. Who's that? I see her on the list right here. I've heard about her before. Zoe Spencer. She be with DDG. DDG be with some chicks. Like, his content these days, people be like, yeah, nah, this is like, there's a vlogging. Like, it is blown up. Yeah, your girl is looking like, what the fuck? Like, she's unhappy about that. She wants your ass to stay home while she's not being able to do what you're doing.
Been able to have my son more than me. And I don't even know the nanny name. Like, it's just not fair, bro. So I have to come on here and I gotta do this shit. I don't want to be on no fucking shade room, bro. Like, I don't want to be on no blogs and no shit like that, nigga. I'm just trying to kick it. But I gotta do shit like this. Now I gotta go to court, do all this.
Nah, all right, well, hold on now. Because I blamed, what's her name, Hallie, when she went online. DDG, you did not have to go online. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think this is a slick move by you. I'm glad you did it, because men are not in the position you're in a lot of times. She overplayed her hand last time, and a lot of people thought she looked jealous and clownish. So when she was like, you shouldn't have your kid on Kai Stream, people were like, you look stupid. And you feel like you're coming across like you own the kid more than the other parent, and it's both y'all kids, right? I think you're using this method for the people to react. DDG. People are going to react in your favor, right? They're going to demand an answer from her, and they're already going to be on your side because you told your side. If you didn't want to be on the blogs, you didn't want me to cover you, or you didn't want any other or shade room to cover you, you would go to court and you would get a custody agreement. That's just how it works. We're all adults. DDG, you're a grown-ass man and I'm a grown-ass man. You go get a custody agreement that says that your kid belongs or should be with you, whether it's every weekend, you get the kid on the weekends, or you get the kid every other weekend, or maybe it's like every other week, or maybe it's like, Monday, Thursday, Sunday, whatever. You don't have to be on here telling us this. You're telling us this because you ain't either get to court yet, or this is probably a way to kind of push the ball on more, which I'm okay with. But let's just call a spade a spade.
Extra shit when it ain't even gotta be like that, bro. But today was my last straw. I'm like, all right, cool. Y'all, if y'all was watching me stream yesterday, y'all know I'm like, all right, I wasn't even gonna stream today. I'm like, I ain't streaming today. I'm gonna be with my son. I planned my whole day to be with him. My whole day was around that. And then I get there, and I'm kicked out of the crib, can't see him, whatever. Mind you, we have our own life.
What you mean kicked out of the crib? Did you go to? She kicked you out of the house, but you don't live with her. So you went there, and they tell you to leave.
I was like, she got her own shit going on. I got my own shit going on in terms of who we fuck with. Like, we not together.
Shout out to Brent Fives.
Whatsoever. We not boyfriend and girlfriend. So ain't got nothing to do with the content. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I've been dealing with this forever where I feel like I'm a secondary parent. And I know a lot of dads out there go through this shit. And the key.
DDG's good. DDG about to make himself the face of the male parent that gets no rights. DDG, I see what you're doing. And I'm calling cap on you. You said, I don't want to get posted on these. No, nigga. You knew the internet would be in your favor. And good, you're playing it right. Because you won't put some pressure on her ass.
He is and never understand. Luckily, my son is only one. So I don't have to, like, worry about him, like, feeling like, oh, my pop's not there. Every time I'm there, he got a smile on his face. He happy to see me. But he only can see me for no more than 48 hours. I haven't had to have my son to myself for longer than 72 hours. Max. He's getting picked up, taken away. I can't come get him. Whatever. Like, it's like, I don't know what to do at this point.
Yo, DDG, man, everybody know how it goes. I ain't gonna lie, 72 is kind of valid. Yo, your baby mama will let you see your son for 2 weeks at a time. You just gotta come to her house without your bitch, or without your bitches, and you gotta sit in her house and spend time with your son. And basically, that's a way women use for you to play house and play family. Yes, nigga, you got to play family if you want to see your kid. Come over here, you gotta tolerate me and the kid. And then we could stay as long as you want to stay. You put this baby in my fucking gut. So, pause. I'm like, this is what the female says. Yes, that's how you can see a kid. That's how women play it. Like, yo, yeah, nigga, you can see your kid anytime. You just gotta come here. You just can't bring your bitch here. You gotta come by yourself. Come here. You could be around me, my mom, or me, my sister, or whoever, and the kid, and that's how you can spend time.
28,000 health, life.
That's how it is.
Left. The opponent has 42.
I don't know what to do, and it's like,
wow, so 28,000, 2,800
I'm just gonna come on here and just say what I say and then get off.
Left.
Go about my day.
He's been winning.
Like this
he had a trump card.
Needs to be some type
his
of
trump card was
repercussions for this.
Oh snap!
Because I'm not a deadbeat. Nowhere near. I have inspired dads across the world to want to be in their kid. Like, why make it harder for me?
Nah, DDG, she know who she fuck with. I'm fucking with this.
I don't even know what to say for her. I wouldn't say this was an impulsive decision, but it's just, bro, I'm just frustrated, bro. Like,
hey, not bad.
Yeah, I can take it off there.
Undefeated so far.
I'm just frustrated. And I just don't know what to do.
Yeah. Starting to
and I hate that every time I got something going good, it's always some type of drama, some type of something going on in my life. I've been doing really good. I've been keeping my head down, just working, waking up every day, working, dealing with this shit. On the same breath. Nobody will really know.
Third match, I wanted 2 moves. Fourth match,
she got this fucking golden image that I also protected.
But it was one
and I'm like, all right, cool.
Everybody surrendered so
far. I'm gonna keep doing.
You gotta tell us about her wilding out on you, gang.
Doing that, cause I'm a real nigga. But this shit is foul, bro. Like,
bro.
If I want to come get my son, I should be able to get my son. Plain and simple. And I wasn't even coming to take him. Like today, I wasn't even gonna take him out because he's sick. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just grab my son and go hang out with him downstairs. Me and her don't really speak like that. I'm like, all right, cool. Take my son, go hang out downstairs. I'm getting kicked out. No.
for a long time.
Like
so.
it's conversations where it's like the shit that's said to me is so if niggas heard it, it's on some leave us alone type shit. I'm like, bro, like now I can see if I like no nigga in the world can tell me that I'm a deadbeat or a bad dad. No nigga in the world can ever say that to me. If my son can talk, he'll tell you my pops is the realest nigga ever. This nigga fuck with me. I wish I could be around him more. I don't get the chance to, bro. It's not cool. Like, it's like, all right,
this card
like, I have
is
never
normal,
took my son out of the state before.
red
Never been able
gadget
to.
from your deck to your hand.
I don't have
1400
permission.
attack
Like,
and 600 defense.
it's like I have a fucking second mom. Like, I gotta ask my second mom, hey, can I take my son? Can I take our son somewhere? But if she want to get up and leave the country and leave the state, I get no say-so whatsoever. I can't say one word. Because she tell me that she the primary parent. Like, it's like, bro, this shit not cool, bro. It's not fair, bro. Like, I promise you, I swear on my life, on my soul, on my son, I never wanted to come on here and say no shit like this, but I feel like this is the only way. So now if y'all don't see me with my son, every day, y'all know I stream every day. Every day I don't see my son, I'ma number it. Let's see, I know she gonna let me see my son now. This is the only way. Behind closed doors, I have not been able to see my son. Only if we on perfect terms,
like,
and she around is cool. But if we not, I don't get to see him. I don't care to do girl content, whatever the fuck. That has nothing to do with anything that's work. That has nothing to do with me wanting to be around my son, like, whatsoever. I don't give a fuck who she fucking, who she talk to, who her nigga is, who she fucking filming movies with. I don't give a fuck. I care about my son. That's all I care about. Literally, that's all I care about. And when that's taken from me, she know that's the only way I get frustrated. That's the only way she can get under my skin, because I don't care what she does. We haven't been together. This might be a curveball to a lot of people, but me and her has not been together for a long time. A long time. Before that post. We've been not really together. We probably was on and off for a little bit. That's it. But further than that, we has not been together. This is the only thing that can bother me is with my son. Y'all know I don't even bring her name up when I get on live. I get on live, I call her the mother of my child. I call her this and that, nothing but be respectful.
He has. In the past.
I'm not doing that no more. I'm not finna sit here and get bullied behind closed doors over my son, and I can't see him. Just not doing it, bro. But now I understand. Like, I always said little shit on the internet, like, I don't see how
facts. I used to watch all DDG
they son life
videos
this and that.
A couple years
it
back.
Be the mom, bro. It don't even be the dads for real. Like, the dads want to be there, but if the mom don't want you to be there, you can't be there. Like, I was there the whole process, pulling his head out, everything. Like, I should have just as much say so as possible. It's not cool, bro. I ain't finna get on here. The longer I stay on here, I get on here and just get to talking and yapping and just. Shout out to DDG, man. I hope he works it out. Again, another black man, baby mama problems.
Hope both y'all is able to work it out.
Shit never changes, man. Shit never changes.
Attack me.
Here's the thing, though. DDG, I'm gonna tell you this now. You opened up a can of. Really, you opened up Pandora's box, brother. Remember this. You ain't one of the people who's liked for stupid shit. They're like, yo, why he always online? No, he always doing this. He do too much. He corny. You know your reputation. Let me tell you this. Whatever little buzz you got going on via Twitch and you streaming and you doing an amazing job doing that, let me tell you this. I would be cautious with Hallie because she has the entire female population in her hand. All she got to do is say, you know why I don't want my kid around this nigga? It's because he A, B, and C. I don't care what A, B, and C is. They're going to look at you like a devil.
you can't really beef with women over like, unless that woman is like really a foul person, like for example, like Erica Mena. That's not Hallie. If Hallie's like, yeah, you don't want her to use some trigger words, so be careful. I think you're putting her on the defense right now where she probably got to say some shit. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. Holy shit. Okay.
Try to end this duel. Let's see if I get 10 game straight run. That'd be dope for my first stream on YouTube playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Yeah, I could end this mode, yeah. I won. Excuse me. Like Shrek said, better out than in. Alright. Maybe a little tap for the 500. I'll let my man let this female attack you real quick. That's fine. That's fine. I think this is our 7th match that we won. Told you I'm a nerd, bro. Hey, we ranked up from Browns tier 2 to Browns tier 1, next silver tier 5. What else did we play? It's 3:29 right now. Eastern. Ooh, she's fine. Bad baby tease. Another diss track aimed at Alabama Baker. I guess. I've been streaming for close to over an hour now. I got 4 views. I'm like, not bad. On YouTube. By the way, shout out to YouOnly.com. Trying to get your music out there, get some shows on. You know, everything's moving back in time as far as being independent. Not as far as being independent, but like getting paid for your art better than a lot of ways. You know, go ahead and check out www.youonly.com. That'll be spelled U as in uniform, O as an Oscar, H as a hotel, N as a Nike, I as in igloo. T as a tango. You own it. UOHNIT.com. And then you type my name in the search engine. You can check out some of my music before I really start pushing it out there this year. Just type in GB Breezy. GB then Breezy. GB as in golf, B as in Bravo, in space. Breezy is spelled B as in Bravo, R as in Romeo, E as in Echo, E as in Echo, Z as in Zulu, Y as in Yankee. GB Breezy. If you could help your boy make some little extra money through my financial hardships and continue to go to the studio and make great records for you guys, that'd be great. I would probably drop a comment of the website or to my link, or possibly both, later on at the end of the stream, or before going wherever they could. Game number 9. I guess we're gonna hit our goal. 10 games straight winning. Let me see something real quick. Easy money. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's something. Nah. Hold on. So I had 2. Okay, so gain on 8.
He'll be like, nah, man, we really
Academic speaks on Atlanta PD and feds trying to put a case on the rapper for promoting violence.
We really stayed ahead of 12. No, you're not, dummy. Like, they know what's going on, right? Like, it's just sometimes they just can't prove it. Now, in Atlanta, the RICO came out. They hit YFN with it. They hit YSL with it. And they hit a couple other people. And they were looking at some more people that were rap-related. And, again, from what I'm hearing from people close to the police force, they believe a lot of the senseless violence. Again, they're not saying that rappers are responsible for all the crime in Atlanta, but they're saying that rappers are bringing a certain energy that is inciting this type of shit, and they're basically playing money man. Like, yo, we pay for this nigga lawyer. Yo, if you diss me, I'm gonna have my like. So this is why Fonnie Willis doing the RICO. The police were really happy with that. So supposedly they were gonna get and I think I told you about the Dirk thing. They had told me that I had really good information. And I think I told Dirk too. I was like, yo, Dirk, you know, they told me that they said they're trying to arrest you, right? And Dirk, you know, I thought he had switched up, but it looks like what happened was with the Dirk thing, the feds took it over. Because Atlanta police was really tight that they couldn't get him on the shit with Vaughn. And they were gonna try to do a RICO thing, but he didn't have like what you would call a criminal enterprise in Atlanta because he was living in Atlanta, right? But remember I had brought to you, like I was the first one who broke that there was niggas ran in his house, and you know he rapped about later he handed India a gun. Well, that was some shit that was going on, like some real shit. The police couldn't really get that case on Dirk, and then the feds took it, so they stopped looking at Dirk. So once the feds take something, the state's like, all right, good luck, nigga. You definitely gonna get in trouble. Now, with Baby, from what I heard, you know, they wanted him badly. Now, again, I'm just speaking as what I hear from these people connected to all this shit. That 4PF shit, it's not a bunch of pussies. From the word in Atlanta is that them 4PF niggas was slotted. And here's the thing. And this is what I was told. Baby had to get out of Dodge a bit. That's why he did the whole CBFW, whatever. Because a lot of the shit that supposedly the police were deeming as 4PF had nothing to do with Baby. It's not like one of those where Baby say, yo, go hit this nigga, and then they hit this nigga, and then they start. No, it's like niggas just doing what they do, but now Baby's name is getting tied up in this, right? So apparently they were trying to get Baby, obviously, and it's so funny. I wonder if these rappers realize Trump saved all y'all Atlanta niggas. I want to say that specifically. Trump saved all y'all Atlanta niggas. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Trump clipped Fonnie Willis' wings. Clipped it. Made her look like a fool. Basically put her in hot water. And she was never going to get in hot water by indicting rappers. But going after then a former president, that's what fucked her up. So Trump really helped every nigga, every rapper in Atlanta. Y'all should be like, even if you don't fuck with him, like, man, Trump did help us out. Trust me. Because I personally believe without Trump, 4PF would have been indicted. I personally believe that. I have certain knowledge, but I think that would have been happening. Now, would Baby be a part of that? They're looking for the sexy name, honestly. Right? They're looking for the sexy name. That's it. Right? Like, there were these random, like, and people would send me, like, yo, there's some shit that 4PF got going on. Again, colloquially, we think 4PF Baby, but 4PF, like, these niggas had their own shit going on, too. Anyway, let's fast forward. So basically, Atlanta police, remember now, Fonnie Willis wings are clipped. Baby, he knows exactly what's going on, and this is the only thing I don't like about rappers. They're a little bit facetious. Because if these guys are smart and they have people around them, if a blogger like me, obviously I try to do my due diligence to make sure I know what's whatever, they know what's going on too. Baby realizes, or should realize, you just escaped a lot of shit by the skin of your teeth. You don't want to go near certain shit to get yourself hemmed up anymore. And I think he's been moving accordingly. And I do want to give him credit because I think he's been moving on it. Atlanta police are tight, though. They mad at him. And it's like any police precinct when they feel like a nigga got away. I always suggest those people move. And by the way, I'm going to suggest that Lil Baby get the fuck out of Atlanta. Okay? We could even talk about even Toronto. Top 5 just beat a murder charge. The police put a lot of money and effort into it. From what I've been told from my people in Toronto, everybody around that situation, they've been getting locked up on just random charges since they beat that. Top 5 just got caught with a gun. They're doing raids everywhere because they realize these niggas got away with some shit, but we still have the power to put some more shit on them. So this is why I'm actually advising, Baby, you might have to keep Atlanta in an arm's distance. The police ain't fucking with you there. So let's talk about the current situation. There was a video that came out, Lil Baby video shoot, where there was a shooting at. Okay. Now we're gonna play this afterwards, but the relevant video is this: 3 people shot on Lil Baby's music video set. This was 9 months ago that TMZ put this video out, and by the way, the gunshots were caught on camera. Check this out. Oh, hell no.
Oh. Where you at?
Now this is a security guard clearly with his weapon out.
He's gone. You can put it up. He's gone. Who the fuck was that? I just sat right here and watched.
Nah, Atlanta gotta be different. Niggas is walking by like ain't nothing happened. Nigga, I've been running, screaming, I'm on the ground, stop, drop, and roll. Ah! 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 Look. Okay, he's on timing. These people just strolling down the street. This is crazy.
Put it up, he gone. Who the fuck was that?
Look, these niggas are still walking briskly.
I just sat right here and watched real smooth, bro. Real smooth, bro. Don't like they shoot their own video the whole time they were plotting on their ass.
Oh shit, they go back in? Oh shit, this is the literal meaning of spin the block.
Tom, get your ass up.
I'm getting down like they tell you in the military.
Nah, these Atlanta niggas is different. He clowning the other, look like the other niggas dropped to the ground. Other niggas say, man, get your ass up, man. Bullets, we hear this shit all the time. Why Atlanta act like they mini Chirac?
Tom, get your ass up.
I'm getting down like they tell you in the military.
He that blacking, man. Them balls gone, man. He shooting at nobody.
Nah, it was just a nigga on the side of that wall with a stick, though.
You get the fuck out the way.
But them they get for always trying to intercept the money.
some in a white car. Goddamn got down there and started shooting back up around at them. Yeah, they were in a white car. They stopped down at the cut right there and let loose. Huh? Yeah.
Let's stop at the cut.
Man, you can come on back with your artillery down there.
Wow. Okay. Anyway. So, that happened. There's actually another video, I believe, too. I think this is it.
The actress is in the bio.
Right.
Who in this car? Oh! Who in this car right here? Who in this car?
Bro, y'all straight. Y'all straight. Oh, right here, bro. I'm standing right here. All that shit. Let's stuff, man.
Oh, shit. They shot some shit. Wait, is that vehicle? It's clearly not bulletproof, right? Even actually, it might be bulletproof. So, like, sometimes the way they built the bulletproof cabins, like you see right here, it looks like there's another window. That would be the bulletproof thing. I don't know. Okay. All right.
Anybody see Sam? What's that? Sam, get out here.
Kevin got hit, man. Look.
Okay. So, all right. That basically happened. We then get the news.
Atlanta police.
Here we go.
To a developing story, Atlanta police are investigating after someone started shooting on the set of a music video. The shooting happened in northwest part of the city, and it took place while rapper Lil Baby was close by. 11 Alive's Bobeth Yates is live for us from APD headquarters with more on this investigation. Bobeth, you know, if you hear a big rapper like Lil Baby shooting a video, it's going to be a big scene.
That's exactly right. And the residents we spoke to this morning say they were so...
By the way, shout out to my boy, what's the dirt in the chat? What's cooking, Cody? Cody? My bad, I can't even speak. And watch out, move, thank you for the 5 act. Is it cool? I get your song and opinion. Okay, just send it to me. All right, thanks.
Excited to see Grammy Award-winning Little Baby. But they say that excitement really quickly turned into fear when what they believe was a drive-by shooting occurred. And now Atlanta PD is investigating.
It was just too much for me.
Residents in the Dixie Hills neighborhood say Tuesday's shooting on Verbranda Street that occurred on the set of a music video featuring popular Atlanta rapper Little Baby has them on edge.
We just heard pow, 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 and that thing was da-da-da-da-da-da, and we grabbed the kids, and everybody was just running. It was a whole bunch of chaos.
The Atlanta Police Department's Violent Crime Unit is now investigating the incident that left 3 people shot. Officials say one person was hit in the arm, another in the neck, and a third in the back. And while all are expected to survive, police say the shooting may be part of a bigger problem with gang activity.
Several of the individuals in the city that are involved in some of these hybrid rap performance groups are involved in certain conflicts throughout the city. So us as a city of Atlanta, we do want to be proactive in making sure that our gang unit is on scene and on front of any potential matters that could escalate as a result of a shooting of this nature.
Pool folks says children and other bystanders were also on scene of the music video when the about 30 shots rang out. And as police try to piece together who's responsible and what led up to the shooting, neighbors we spoke to say the violence is getting out of hand.
It's ridiculous that you can't come outside and have a good time or show some love in the neighborhood because you always want to argue, fight, and shoot and kill, and that's a problem. They need to take these damn guns off the street. That's the biggest problem.
You live in Atlanta, it's never coming off the street. Okay, so that basically happened, and what we then saw was this video of the police who were announcing warrants for the murder of 2 people, and basically they said in the details of the warrant, there was blame to be put to an Atlanta-based rapper who they actually even said was cowardly. Just listen to this, Jack.
Investigation aspect of this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence that was orchestrated by adults in our city. And cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been.
Nah, he for sure looked like Wallow. I ain't gonna lie to you.
And in the subsequent days, we saw homicides and shootings, and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions. Investigate.
So essentially what they're saying is that there were retaliatory. It looked like people didn't die in that the shooting we heard. Looked like 3 people got shot, but no one died. But what happened is that, well, if y'all shot our shit up, we're gonna come shoot y'all back up. And in some of the retaliatory actions, 2 kids died. And what the police are saying, this was really sparked off because Lil Baby, and that's who they're talking about, the Atlanta-based rapper. They're saying Lil Baby decided to shoot a music video in the op neighborhood. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I've seen a lot of people talk about this, and I've even posted about it. I have a nuanced perspective. Y'all might not even like my perspective on this. I think the police need to go solve crime. Trying to throw Lil Baby's name in the mix, I think that was a weak move by the police. Go solve the crime. Go find out the people who did this, hold them accountable, find out the groups that are behind this, and if Lil Baby's a part of it, hold him accountable too. But you don't need to bring up his name until you actually have something concrete. Now, I could say that, and I think the police, this seems a little clout chasing, but we got to be honest here. All things being said, and this is, again, I got no issue with Lil Baby, but we got to be honest. These rappers do know what the fuck is going on. Lil Baby, you know goddamn well you and your 4PF hooligans ain't welcomed over certain places in Atlanta. And you going over there, it ain't your fault, because it's the fault of whoever who did the shooting, and subsequently whoever who did the retaliation shooting. But when y'all making this type of music and y'all talking about this, that, and third, please realize that y'all got bulletproof trucks and these other people don't. These kids want to play in the streets and these people. So I would never levy the burden of saying Lil Baby was responsible for someone being murdered. But I think all y'all rappers, and this is where we just got to just exercise like some critical thinking. Lil Baby know when he was rocking 4PF, they got ops. You know all these niggas you keep bringing up in your video and throwing up all these signs, they got beef with niggas over there. I think it is your responsibility to not go there to do videos unless you think that maybe you want to show you that nigga. Now again, I still don't think you're responsible for their deaths, but I do think that was a stupid move. Like, if you trying to shoot music videos in the territory of people that don't fuck with either you or people that are claiming the group that you're in, or claiming the gang, whatever you want to call this 4PF shit, brother, you should have probably exercised the better judgment to say, this might encourage violence. I'm shooting a video in my ops neighborhood, and I'm a huge artist. It's gonna make them look crazy. Maybe they got to do something. Now again, still not Baby's fault. It's the fault of whoever who pulled that trigger. But I think Baby has to realize, and this is why I say, I think the cops calling them out here, they're frustrated. Because they've realized 4P have been doing a lot of bullshit. It's reality. That's just what it is. So they're now at the point of calling out the rapper even though I think that we should start, first of all, with talking to the police officers and say, man, go solve that motherfucking crime and stop trying to blame the rapper because he's not a law enforcement agent. Do I think Lil Baby's stupid for doing that if that's what he did? Of course he is. And I think us fans got to look at him to be like, bro, what the fuck you think is going on if you think you're going to shoot a music video in maybe not your op, because I don't know how together this 4 p.m. shit was. If you shooting a music video and you're bringing niggas that are ops with the niggas in that neighborhood, come on, bro. Come on. And it would be naive for us to think that these rappers really have no idea what's going on. Y'all niggas claim y'all no nigga go by the name of the hero. Y'all niggas claim y'all the voice of the streets, y'all this and third. So if we could know about this online, you know you was not supposed to be over there shooting a music video. You know damn well you was not supposed to be over there shooting a music video. And again, I'm still gonna stop short of trying to like blame him for someone's death, but he definitely knows better. Now I think that was a stupid move. Okay. Now there was rumors that Lil Baby was locked up and that the feds had jumped in. And by the way, this would be the only investigate. These police officers only talking. They're cuffed. Let me say to Mr. Fake Wallow over here, Lil Baby ain't never pulled no fucking trigger. So even if he was funding whatever war that's happening that got 2 teenagers killed, to which, by the way, I would never blame him for that without solid proof. But even if he was, let's just be hypothetical here. Y'all investigation is gonna go nowhere because y'all don't have a DA anymore that's gonna do that. They have clipped the wings of Fonnie Willis, so unless you got Baby shooting somebody, you ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing to Baby. You get what I'm saying? But what it just says here is that you're gonna try to harass him, maybe pull him over 20 times, see if his tags are expired, see if you could catch him with an illegal gun, see if he's smoking in the car that you can search if it's but I don't think there's any like serious ramifications that's coming down the pipeline, because again, I think the police officers here that's complaining about these rappers, you don't have a DA anymore that's gonna try to weaponize their powers in the ability of filing RICO. So that's over. Okay? So again, the mere fact they gotta come out and call Baby stupid for doing that just tells you they wanted, and this is a press conference, they just wanted to kind of send a message because they really have no action. So people that said, well, the feds took over, just like really in the Dirk case. And that's what I heard happened in the Dirk case. That the feds took Dirk's case. And obviously Dirk got arrested. But now people were saying that Baby got arrested by the feds. And Baby himself came out to debunk those rumors when he posted on his Instagram, he said, thanks for all the concerns. Please don't be misinformed by fake news. I'm overly good. Okay? So yeah. Again, I got no issue with Baby. I'm trying to give advice or just trying to speak openly. Baby needs to keep Atlanta as at an arm's length. I'm not breaking no news to him here. They think that either Lil Baby or the people and the Negroes he's been around with has been causing a lot of problems, just like they thought the Negroes around Thug was causing a lot of problems and they locked Thug up. Again, they might not have the same type of power or resources to do the same to Baby, but it doesn't mean they're going to harass him. They're not going to harass him, and they're not going to try to jam him up elsewhere. And if he's not trying to go down that path, if I was him, they said Young Thug moved to Miami. I don't know if y'all heard. They said Young Thug is in Miami now, or Florida, somewhere. Because, you can't be in the metro Atlanta area. So apparently he's been in Miami. I think Baby should probably, start realizing what's going on. Because the cops is literally, this is a clearer signal they could say, we're trying to get you, motherfucker, because you're causing a lot of fuckery that we got to investigate. So hopefully he moves accordingly. All right. Let's see what else is going on. I'll probably say this Gene Hackman story for like
10 games.
Daytime or something like that. Drizzy.
Straight.
Drizzy apparently
Let's get there.
So, Lil Baby recently, they're saying that he is responsible for me. So, well, he's not responsible, but some shootings happened and some people tragically lost their life while he was shooting a music video or after, for me, and they say he was shooting on the Ops block. You know, who knows what really happened, man? Like, I don't really know what fully happened. They're gonna try and push it on the biggest name there, which is Lil Baby. So yeah, but that's what just comes with the position, bro. If someone dies near you and you're in that vicinity or you're doing anything in that vicinity, they're gonna put it on you. That's how it always goes. This your boy Big Act News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and keep your head up, Lil Baby. And I'm out.
Why can't Squidward escape the job?
Learn about crypto and get rewarded as you learn with Coinbase Learning Rewards. We've paid out over what
Squidward Q Tentacles hates his job, but for some reason he can't quit. Well, the truth is, someone is controlling Squidward, making it so he can't leave his job. Join me as we figure out why Squidward can't quit his job. So it's no secret that Squidward hates his job, but why would he be working there if he hates it? And before we go on, I know the show needs Squidward to be the cashier at the Krusty Krab to keep its humor, but thinking from Squidward's perspective, why would you work a job that you hate? Why wouldn't you just quit? Part 1, Squidward quitting his job. Surprisingly, Squidward has quit his job on numerous occasions. In the episode Big Pink Loser, Squidward quit his job after Patrick was hired by Mr. Krabs. For some reason, he seems happy to leave his position, but towards the end of the episode, we see him rejoin the Krusty crew after SpongeBob and Patrick leave. Just before going back, we see him reading the newspaper showing he had nothing better to do and probably wasn't able to get a job. Then, in the episode Bossy Boots, Squidward ends up quitting his job after Pearl changes to Krusty Krab. We don't see him get rehired in the episode, but it probably happened after Pearl was fired. Then, in the episode Krusty Towers, Squidward quits his job to become a guest at the Krusty Towers. We don't see him get rehired, but he probably was once the Krusty Towers became the Krusty Krab again. After that, in the episode Chum Fricassee, Squidward quit his job at the Krusty Krab, but unlike the other times, this time he actually got a job at the Chum Bucket. This marked the first time when Squidward quit and actually found a new job. Once again, we don't see him get rehired, but he probably was. Then, in the episode Boss for a Day, Squidward quit his job, but unlike any other time, SpongeBob was in charge of the Krusty Krab. This was the only time when Squidward quit his job and SpongeBob was in charge of him. After that, Squidward quit his job in the episode The Play's the Thing, when he believes that he's gonna become famous. But after learning that he actually isn't gonna become famous, he walks back in and takes his position.
I sent him my play and now he's gonna produce it. I quit. We will not be doing your play.
Remember this clip, because it's going to be very important later. Squidward also quit his job in the episode Goodbye Krabby Patty after Mr. Krabs was about to fire him. The interesting part in this episode is that he had his resignation speech ready. Also, Squidward struggled to get a job and was forced to come back to the Krusty Krab. Finally, the biggest example of Squidward quitting his job was in the episode Can You Spare a Dime? In the episode, Squidward is accused of stealing one of Mr. Krabs' dimes. Because of this, Squidward decides to quit his job. As the episode goes on, we learn that Squidward couldn't find a new job and actually became homeless. SpongeBob took him in, but Squidward ended up taking advantage of him. This drove SpongeBob crazy, who forced Mr. Krabs to give Squidward his job back. So in all the episodes, Squidward quit his job only to come back. Only in the episodes Can You Spare a Dime, Goodbye Krabby Patty, and Chum Fricassee did he actually try to find a new job. All the other times, he quit and then just came back a little later. But the reason Squidward was able to come back was because he quit his job. If he was fired, then he wouldn't be able to come back and would be forced to look for a new job. Well, Squidward was only fired once in the entire show. The only time Squidward was fired was in the episode Squid on Strike, where he and SpongeBob were fired for planning to go on strike. After being fired, they decided to strike, and after a lot of protesting, Mr. Krabs gave them their jobs back. But while discussing the terms, SpongeBob used everything he'd learned from Squidward and ended up destroying the Krusty Krab. Because of this, Mr. Krabs claimed that the two would work for him forever. And that's it. That's why Squidward can't quit his job, because he and SpongeBob are forced to work for Mr. Krabs for the rest of their lives. Thank you for watching. Is what I would say if it wasn't for two things. The first is that Squidward has quit his job a ton of times after Season 2, without Mr. Krabs really saying anything. The second and even bigger reason is because in the Season 9 episode SpongeBob You're Fired, Mr. Krabs fired SpongeBob, which shows that he doesn't really care about what he said back in Season 2. Both of these two reasons diminish any claim that the two would have to work for him forever. So then, why can't Squidward find a job whenever he quits the Krusty Krab? Why is he forced to come back? Well, in the episode Goodbye Krabby Patty, Squidward explains that he couldn't follow his dreams because 17 years as a cashier is not good enough.
Apparently you need more than 17 years behind a cash register to be qualified for dreams.
But this doesn't add up with SpongeBob's story when he was fired. When SpongeBob was fired, he actually got hired by multiple places. So if SpongeBob, who wasn't even born when Squidward was working at the Krusty Krab, can find a job with less experience, then why can't Squidward? What is wrong with him? Is he even trying to find a job? Part 2. Squidward's desires. What's interesting is that it seems that Squidward isn't even trying to find a job because he wants to keep the job that he hates. After being fired in the episode Squid on Strike, he realizes that he's going to be stuck striking forever for his job with SpongeBob, and so he decides to beg for his job back. Not once does he think about trying to get a new job. Instead, he wants to get his old job back where he has to work with SpongeBob. It's no secret that Squidward hates his job and would leave if he could. Not only do we see this in Squidward's dreams in the episode Squidward's Sick Days, but also Mr. Krabs knows that he hates his job and uses it against him. In the episode Whale Watching, Mr. Krabs uses SpongeBob to threaten Squidward to babysit Pearl. So with all that we know,
look, Drew, I'm glad you filled in for Adam, but are you sure you didn't go near the forbidden fruit tree? Yeah, stop asking. Drew, you filled in as substitute because you have hay fever and you're allergic to trees. Now show me your eyes.
Here's a great way to level up your investment game. With high-yield cash from Robinhood Gold, you can earn 9 times the national average. You can also...
Why would Squidward beg for a job he desperately hates? The only reason he would do so is out of desperation to make sure that he doesn't go homeless. Or does he? In the Season 2 episode Squidville, Squidward moves to a gated community only for squids to get away from SpongeBob and Patrick. But his life starts to get repetitive and he starts to miss the chaos caused by his neighbors. But there's one thing everyone seems to miss. In the montage, we see a total of 14 days go by and not one.
A scarred and tattooed hand slides the bag of amphetamine across the table. The undercover cop's eyes settle on it. To everyone in the room, he's just another seasoned buyer, here to secure his next fix. Across the table, the dealer is confident in the product sitting between them.
It's been on the infographic show. Cop goes undercover, then become a drug addict. Killer. Crazy.
It's the best on the market, the kind of amphetamine that commands a high price. The cop's gaze lingers on the bag just a moment too long. There's a subtle shift in the air. The dealer notices. Suspicion creeps into his expression. The grin begins to fade. The cop knows the stakes. Hesitation could blow his cover or worse. Keeping his composure, he dabs a finger into the powder and presses it to his tongue. It's a calculated move, one designed to maintain the illusion. It isn't enough. The dealer's into the powder and presses it, begins to fade. The cop knows the stakes. Hesitation could blow his cover or worse. Keeping his composure, he dabs a finger into the powder and presses it to his tongue. It's a calculated move, one designed to maintain the illusion. It isn't enough. The dealer's posture stiffens. He expects more, a true test of the product. This is the downside of being undercover. You have to do a lot of bad things all in the line of duty. Today, we'll take a look at the dangerous world of undercover work on this episode of the Infographic Show. Insane true stories from undercover cops. Number 6, the Speed Connoisseur. The receiver of the gift we just mentioned is Neil Woods, arguably Britain's most well-known undercover drugs cop. He befriended some of the nastiest people in England from 1993 to 2007, putting men behind bars collectively for over 1,000 years. He had arranged to meet a highly unstable local drug dealer in a bar. a notoriously dangerous bar. Woods had been working on this mark for a while, grooming him so he could get higher up the food chain, find out who the suppliers were. Just minutes earlier, at the other end of the bar, a man had been beaten senseless over a drug debt. The debt was a measly $15. That's all it took to send someone to the floor, blood pooling on the grimy tiles. Woods knew that if anyone in that place got so much as a whiff he was a cop, his next step would be the hospital. He had to take that speed, a drug he had never touched before. He joined the drug squad in his early 20s, diving headfirst into a world that demanded he become someone else. Before long, he was making friends with addicts in towns where his face wasn't known. It was the mid-90s and the British Home Office was concerned about rising drug use. It wasn't just speed and ecstasy in rave clubs, but addictive narcotics. For years, Neil Woods' life would revolve around coke, crack, and smack, a trio of drugs that fueled crime and desperation in Britain's most poverty-stricken neighborhoods. He was thrown into a world of violence and addiction, watching homeless addicts that he'd befriended dying of overdoses and hanging around no-go bars that maniacs made their home. One of those maniacs was the man telling him to take a hit of the powder he just slid across the table. He wasn't the kind of guy that he said no to, so Woods did as he was told. He indulged in Britain's finest speed. He later described the feeling as a white light, white heat rush. The dealer wasn't exaggerating. When the rest of that speed, pink champagne as it was called, was taken back to the lab, they found it was 40% pure. The average in England at the time was 5 to 7%. Woods spent the next 24 hours scrubbing every corner of his house. He didn't sleep for 3 nights, and then he came down like a crashed plane. These were early days of his undercover existence. It was a secret life that he wouldn't fully explain to his wife and kids, even to other cops, which was probably a good thing. He later found out that some of the cops in his town were on the payroll of some powerful drug dealers. And that's why when you work undercover, you tell no one. On one of Woods' jobs, he befriended a heroin dealer, a necessary but dangerous part of the role. One day, he knocked on the dealer's door only to be grabbed by the collar and hauled inside. Before he could process what was happening, he was face to face with the dealer, who brandished a samurai sword. The sharp steel edge was pressed against Woods' throat, and with spit flying out of his mouth, the dealer accused Woods of being drug squad. Woods was sure that his cover had been blown. The tension was broken when he heard someone laughing in the background. It was the dealer's girlfriend. The dealer cracked up too as he drew the sword away from Woods' neck. They'd just been trying to scare him. The woman, still in stitches, slapped her boyfriend on the back and said, "I thought he was actually going to say he was DS for a second." She might have been right. This was Woods' new world, and as he later said in an interview, every year went on, without fail, the people were more violent. In 2001, he very nearly became a victim of this escalating violence. He'd spent 6 months earning the trust of a high-level dealer, slowly working his way into the inner circle. Now he needed evidence, something concrete to bring the operation down. That meant getting this guy on camera, handing over the drugs. They arranged to meet after Woods had asked to score, and he assumed it would be a one-on-one deal. But when he arrived, there were 3 men waiting. 2 of them were complete strangers. On Woods' jacket was a tiny hidden camera disguised as a button. It was his only lifeline, and if anyone noticed it, he would be in big trouble. They met in a car park on an industrial estate outside of town. The guys got out of the car and took a big block of cocaine from the truck. One of the guys immediately became suspicious, and without warning, Woods was shoved hard against the wall. The guy's fingers started fiddling with the camera button, which Woods later said was not exactly James Bond quality. If he ran, he was dead. So not breaking character, he became incensed that someone would accuse him of being a cop, pushing the guy away like he was about to hit him. The guy wasn't giving up, screaming to his mate that Woods was an undercover police. The dealer vouched for him, but Woods, still pretending to be upset, said he was going. He didn't need the drugs, not from someone accusing him like that. He started walking across the car park only to hear the padding of footsteps behind him. He was expecting a bullet in the back or a baseball bat across the head, but neither came. It was the guy he knew apologizing. He even gave Woods a big rock of crack as a peace offering. Over at the car, the guy was shouting at Woods that he was a cop. Woods was almost at the exit when he heard the sharp screech of tires. He didn't need to turn around to know what was happening. He was pretty sure the accuser had now managed to convince the others that he was in fact a cop. He glanced over his shoulder to see the car barreling toward him at high speed. At the last second, the car barely a meter away, Woods leaped over a barrier and ran for his life. A few hours later, he was back with the special operations team, and he told them his cover was blown. One of the team told him that the intel had revealed the men were armed. Woods knew he had a lucky escape. After all those years, he figured something out. The better the cops became at infiltrating gangs and getting snitches to talk, the nastier the gangs became. Their growing paranoia always led to an escalation of violence. Today, Woods is an outspoken advocate, fighting to end the war on drugs in the UK. It's a war that consumed years of his life, and one he knows can't be won. Very few people can do this job, and as you'll see now, those who can sometimes forget which side they're on. Number 5, losing yourself. Keith Banks was a clean-cut 17-year-old kid when he joined the force in Australia. It was the late 70s and early 80s, and heroin addiction had become endemic in towns and cities across the country. Banks was idealistic. He wanted to change the world. So at 21, he grew out his hair, got a few piercings, and tried to infiltrate the gangs that were all doing the trafficking and dealing. Banks embraced this new identity, fully immersing himself in every second of his fabricated life. Before he went undercover, he never so much as smoked a cigarette. But within months of hanging out with the gangs, Banks was smoking cigs and weed and had taken to regular binge drinking. If he ever bumped into people he knew, his story was he'd been kicked out of the...
As parents of 2, life is non-stop. Between diaper changes and snack runs, we barely have time to breathe, let alone think about taxes. But we got a secret weapon that makes tax season a breeze. TurboTax is built for busy families like ours, and we're so excited to be partnering with them. Using the TurboTax mobile app, all you have to do is snap a photo of your tax forms, verify your data, and let TurboTax do the rest. It's so easy and stress-free. Oh, and the best part, you get the biggest refund possible. Not only are you getting more money in your pockets, but you get it faster to spend on what truly matters most, like family adventures or date nights when we can get a babysitter. We used to honestly dread tax season, but now it's just another thing checked off the list. And yeah, this is gonna be your phase 2 when you get your fast and big refund hitting your account. No need to wait, get started today, and you'll see how TurboTax makes it easy so you can get your biggest refund possible and faster. Seriously, thank us later.
When we took Josiah to the emergency room, the doctor came in with a diagnosis of type 1 diabetes.
And she looks at us and she goes, "You guys are so lucky," because he likely was not waking up the next morning.
Josiah was in DKA. It was very scary.
I had no idea you could screen for type 1 diabetes. And that's why I'm so grateful for the opportunity to partner with Sanofi and bring awareness to the importance of screening for type 1 diabetes. Visit screenfortype1.com for more information about screening early for type 1 diabetes.
Forced for drug use. He spent every day of his life buying heroin, trying to move higher and higher up the distribution chain. Once a week, he would use a public payphone to call the drug squad and feed them back the information he gleaned. The hardest part was befriending people who, despite their involvement with drugs, he took a shine to. Banks was befriending lower-level guys, people he liked, and then he had to send them to prison. He became friends with many of them, even meeting their families. The line between reality and my underworld identity became blurred, he later said. It changed him. He became menacing and violent like the character he was playing. And it wasn't just when he was among other dealers. He was like that all the time. One of the men he hung out with was a double murderer who was wanted for escaping from prison. He was a very dangerous man. One night, Banks went to a nightclub with the dealer, blending seamlessly with his long hair and earrings. But as he approached the bar, he froze. The bartender recognized him and called out his name. They were old school friends. Banks felt his pulse quicken. Now more than ever, Banks had to become the maniac he'd been playing for so long. He started screaming and cursing, threatening the bartender for confusing him with someone else. He later said his dealer friend looked at him with penetrating, dark, black, soulless eyes that reminded him of the serial killer Charles.
Blueberry pie snacking. Blueberry flavored yogurt, 5 pieces, dried cranberry, butter, trophy, toffee, almond, and dried blueberry. All much together. I hate that deck. I hate that deck. Wow. He messed up a little bit. Should have kept the other two cards on the field. Probably practicing with it.
Manson. He called you Keith, said the guy. Why did he call you Keith? Banks managed to talk his way out of it, or at least he thought he did. Sometime later, he walked into a flat in Brisbane to score drugs. As soon as the door closed behind him, one of the men in the room grabbed him and he felt the end of a shotgun against the side of his head. The man demanded that Banks do some lines of speed with the boys. It was a test, so Banks did as he was told, but still everyone looked suspicious. In another case, he spent the evening with a group of dealers as they talked about what they would do if they ever discovered someone they knew was undercover. The answer was torture and death. Unsurprisingly, when he finally resigned from the force, he was diagnosed with chronic PTSD, anxiety, and depression. Now let's look at a case where an undercover cop forgets he's a cop and goes rogue. Number 4, Cop Killer Cop. July 4th, 1995, Yuma, Arizona. Hurry up, he's shooting guns. He's firing rounds, hurry up. Those were the words of Yuma Police Lieutenant Dan Elkins to the operator on a 911 call. The operator barely had time to process them as the sound of gunshots erupted, followed by an ominous silence. Elkins, alongside Department of Public Safety Sergeant Mike Crow, had been cut down in the hail of bullets. The man who fired the gun was their colleague, a sheriff's deputy named Jack Hudson. Hudson had been working undercover for the Southwest Border Alliance Narcotics Task Force and had become a drug addict in the process. Elkins, Crow, and a technician had gone to the evidence room that evening to make sure everything was in order. Recently, there'd been a spate of mysterious thefts from the room, so they thought it was best to check. When they got there, they found Hudson standing beside broken safes and empty lockers, a 9mm weapon in his hand. None of the others were armed, but Hudson didn't give them a chance. He opened fire, killing 2 cops, before turning the gun on the technician, only for the gun to jam. In his addiction, Hudson had gone rogue, stealing drugs and weapons from the evidence room, and selling the guns for more drugs. He was so high at the time of the murders, he later said he didn't even remember doing it. Still, he was clear-headed enough to put another round in his gun after Crow had pleaded, "Please don't shoot me again." Hudson fired into his head, killing him instantly. He was arrested outside in the car park. Detectives later went to his house and found amphetamines, methamphetamines, marijuana, and 18 firearms. He died in prison in 2017. Now let's look at what happens when undercovers befriend murderers. Number 3, the habitual confessor. June 6, 2012, Bristol, England. 32-year-old Claire Holland is knocking back drinks at Seamus O'Donnell's Irish pub in the city center. At approximately 11:15 p.m., she walks out the door and into the street. That's the last time anyone will see her, including her 4 children. Dive teams searched the harbor and police interviewed hundreds of people, but they couldn't find a body, and there was a lack of CCTV evidence. Without a body or witnesses, the case quickly went cold. Still, detectives had their suspicions, and high on the list was Darren Osmond, a 41-year-old chef battling a serious alcohol problem. He was also the father of one of Holland's 4 children. They had broken up years before she went missing, but he was still in her life. On the night she disappeared, they'd arranged to meet, but according to Osmond, she didn't show up. In 2019, he was on a night out in Devon, and in a drunken state, he called the police. He said that he couldn't handle the guilt anymore, and when the operator pressed him further, Osmond said he knew what had happened to Holland. Detectives were soon at his house. He was obviously still drunk when he admitted, "I gave some money to someone and they had her killed." But this wasn't the first time he'd confessed. In 2014, he told a roommate that he strangled Holland and had thrown her body into the Avonmouth docks, 9 miles outside of Bristol. Then in 2018, he was drunk in a pub when he told a man he'd paid someone £500 to have Holland executed. So there he was in 2019 confessing again, and again he was drunk. Unfortunately for the detectives, a drunken confession from an unstable, raging alcoholic is not usually enough to charge someone with a crime. The next morning, Osmond claimed he didn't remember making the phone call. Police knew Osmond was a violent man, someone capable of murder. After Holland gave birth to their child in 2008, the household spiraled into chaos. Alcohol-fueled domestic violence tore through their lives, leading to the child being taken into foster care. Though the two kept in touch over the years, their relationship was anything but amicable. Osmond harbored a simmering resentment, blaming Holland for their child's removal, a motive that couldn't be ignored. Police knew there was a good chance he was guilty, but with no evidence, they had to come up with a way for him to incriminate himself even further. That was about the time Patty O'Hara came onto the scene, a hard-drinking petty criminal barfly who had moved into an apartment not far from Osmond's place. O'Hara was a cop, whose real name remains a mystery to all but a chosen few. In 2020, O'Hara started hanging around the bars where Osmond was a regular drinker. He was new to the area and in need of new friends, and that's how he met Osmond. One of those first few nights out, Osmond told O'Hara he was struggling for money. No problem, said O'Hara. He could find him some work moving boxes of counterfeit and stolen clothing. After that, they often met for 10-hour drinking sessions at O'Hara's flat, where they would kick back and watch soccer on the TV. O'Hara was perfect, turning into the kind of heavy drinker Osmond felt at home with. He became a lifesaver, often driving Osmond to his hospital appointments. As their relationship progressed, O'Hara began allowing Osmond to join him on his drug deals. Unknown to Osmond, the cannabis they were selling came directly from the evidence room and was being sold to another undercover officer. The whole point of this was to show Osmond that O'Hara was a lifetime criminal, to gain his trust and hopefully get him to talk about how he'd once gotten away with murder. But O'Hara was careful, never pushing Osmond too far, spending many nights talking about nothing and filling up 1,200 hours of secret recordings. Osmond fell for it. He began to love his new friend, who he'd come to treat like an all-weather ally. In October 2021, on one of the recordings, Osmond told O'Hara, "If I was getting married next week, you'd be my best man." It was around that time that Osmond started to talk about his ex, Holland. who he said had vanished one night and was never seen again. He didn't admit to the murder, but he told O'Hara she ain't gonna be seeing the light of day again. Don't worry about that. On another occasion, Osment said that he'd been having nightmares about Holland and her, quote, black eyes. It was almost as though she was haunting him. And that could be exploited. Sometimes at night, they'd take walks down by the estuary when Osment would hint that this was where he once dumped a body. Little by little, he opened up, once saying that the cops were putting the puzzle together, but they haven't got all the bits. It wasn't until 2022 when O'Hara went in for the kill. He knew the murder was still troubling Osment psychologically. So one night, he said he asked outright. He knew it was tearing Osment apart. Osment trusted O'Hara like a brother. He went into the details, explaining that he arranged to meet her that night, making sure to choose a spot where there wasn't any CCTV. He said it was easy. He just grabbed her and used what he said was his knife skills to cut her body. He said he weighed the body down so it would sink in the water, burned the clothes that he was wearing, and later put the knife in one of the other chef's kits. Osment said he felt a weight lifted from his shoulders. O'Hara, always the perfect undercover, gave him a warm smile. That was the last time the two best friends met each other. In court, Osment's defense tried to argue that plying a man with booze and coaxing him into what they said was a false confession was unfair. But the evidence stood and Osment received a life sentence. In 2024, he launched an appeal, but it's unlikely that'll make any difference. Okay, so what happens when you cross a murderer with a group of fake hardcore gangsters? Number 2, a friend to gangsters. February 27th, 1999, 12:45 a.m. 17-year-old Michelle Bright is last seen leaving a party of a 15-year-old friend in the small town of Goolgong in Australia's New South Wales Central West. Her badly beaten body is soon found near train tracks less than a mile away from her parents' house. The pathologist will say she died from homicidal violence of an undetermined etiology. It was a heinous crime that stunned the nation, prompting authorities to offer a huge $500,000 reward. By 2020, the reward was doubled to $1 million, reflecting the desperate urgency to solve the case. Goolgong was a tiny town, only home to 2,500 people. If the killer was local, which police suspected, then he should be fairly easy to find. They followed thousands of leads. They interviewed pretty much everyone in the town. But the one guy they missed was Craig Rumsby. The meat transport worker left town for the outskirts of Sydney about 2 weeks after the murder. The case went cold but was reopened in 2019. Detectives had a list of suspects, and now one of them was Rumsby. They'd already questioned him, but they didn't have enough to charge him. They needed to ensnare him, and knowing how impressionable he was, it was decided they'd introduce him to some high-level gangsters who were secretly undercover policemen. One night, a couple of these guys got to talking to Rumsby. They told him they needed a guy to help out with a job, and it was good money. They spent months after that groupers who were secretly undercover policemen. One night, a couple of these guys, they needed to ensnare him, and knowing how impressionable he was, it was decided they'd introduce him to some high-level gangsters who were secretly undercover policemen. One night, a couple of these guys got to talking to Rumsby. They told him they needed a guy to help out with a job, and it was good money. They spent months after that grooming him, becoming his closest friend, thrilling him with dark tales from the underworld. In 2020, they introduced him to someone who they said was a corrupt cop on their payroll. If Rumsby had anything that needed fixing...
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you'll get your first month free when you join today. Sign up for just $1 down, $24.99 a month, and get your...
This cop could do it for him. Rumsby had told him the cops had once tried to, quote, pin a murder on him. The murder of Michelle Bright. But he denied doing it. So 5 months later, his gang member buddies said they'd gotten word from their police contacts that the cops were now actively looking at him and that his name had come up in some case. One of the gangsters stressed that Rumsby was part of the family. He was a brother. But there was a catch. Loyalty came with conditions, and they couldn't afford any heat on them. The situation needed to be fixed. Rumsby played dumb, saying nothing. Later, one of the guys sent him a text explaining that this case his name had come up in was a murder that happened years ago out west. Rumsby texted back, adamantly denying any involvement. He insisted Bright was like a sister to him, a bond forged from growing up together. Again, the trap had failed. Rumsby had indeed known the victim. His house back then wasn't that far from her place. He made out that he'd been a friend to her. So after the authorities wrote a Facebook post about the new reward of $1 million, he wrote in the comments section, "It's so sad they haven't caught her killer. Michelle was like a sister to me. I feel sorry for the family." The next day, he was called to a hotel to speak with the big boss of the gang, a guy he'd rarely seen in the flesh. The boss said, look, if your name is connected to this murder, that brings heat on the family. He demanded honesty from Rumsby, otherwise they couldn't work together. Rumsby still didn't budge, saying that he knew nothing about the murder, so the cops moved to the next part of the plan. The boss approached Rumsby again, this time with copies of police documents he supposedly gotten from his corrupt law enforcement mates. There were records about Rumsby, including a photo of a red Ford Falcon car. They were onto him, said the boss. It was just a matter of time before they got him. Back in 1999, after police had interviewed Rumsby on the phone about the murder, that same car was found in flames. The cops said the boss knew that Rumsby had driven it that night and had later destroyed it. The boss told him again that if he told the truth, they could get him out of this. Rumsby paused for a minute and then said one night he was out late near his house and he heard footsteps behind him. He looked back and it was his young neighbor, Michelle. He walked over to her, grabbed her, and put his hand over her mouth until she stopped breathing. The boss was skeptical, but Rumsby was adamant. He was telling the truth. He explained that that night he'd been driving around in his Falcon when he stopped at the commercial hotel to speak to the publican. He then set off walking, and that's when he heard those footsteps. The boss said they needed to get this straight if they were going to get the cops off his tail. He needed to take them to Gulgong and show them exactly where he'd killed the girl. After that, said the boss, they would charter a private plane and fly him to another town where he could lay low until the heat died down. Night had already fallen when Rumsby took them to Barney's Reef Road in Gulgong. That's where he had killed her and dragged her body over the road, pushing it into the scrub so no one would find it. He explained that when he went home, he had a beer, took a shower, washed his clothes, and went to bed. He told the guys when it was on the TV for the next 12 months, all he could think was, what have I done? As promised, they took him straight to the airport, but instead of finding a private plane waiting for him, there were a bunch of police officers and a pair of shiny handcuffs. His best friends handed him over. In court, age 56, Rumsby was sentenced to 32 years in prison, with a minimum of 24 years. Okay, here's an undercover cop story like no other. Number 1, the perfect assassin. Future undercover assassin extraordinaire Gary Johnson grew up in the 50s in a small town in Louisiana. After serving in the Vietnam War as a military police officer, he returned to Louisiana to work at the sheriff's office. A few years later, he was embedded as an undercover cop in Port Arthur, Texas. There, he lived a double life, posing as a drug addict to gain the trust of street dealers and set them up for arrests. As with all undercover cops, Johnson had a knack for acting. He was what you might call a character, the last guy you would expect to be carrying a badge. After his stint as a fake addict, he earned himself a master's degree in psychology and intended to get a PhD in psychology from the University of Houston. But then he got a call from the Houston District Attorney's Office. His initial job involved reviewing videotapes of crimes and confessions, preparing them for prosecutors. But his success as an undercover drugs cop, combined with his sharp psychological acumen, set him on a very different path. It was decided that he would take on a new role, becoming Texas's most renowned contract killer. Informants helped the cops in spreading the word that the character Johnson was pretending to be was the greatest professional hitman in Houston. If you needed murder for hire, he was the man to call. Word on the street was no one did killing better. Satisfaction and security were guaranteed. It wasn't long until he had customers. He employed his powers of psychology to come across as believable, changing character for each person who would meet him and tell him why and how someone needed to die. If he was taking out a gangster, Johnson became a tough-looking biker. If the hit was a businessman, he would be a business-like assassin. For a wealthy woman who wanted her husband dead, he was a friendly-looking guy who was a good listener. He could turn into whatever he needed to be in whichever situation he found himself in. Rich, poor, educated, uneducated, dangerous, smart, stupid. Johnson was always able to become the perfect-looking assassin. But his weapon of choice wasn't a gun, it was a wire, hidden in his shirt, and it sent a lot of people to prison. He started his gig in 1989, and over the next 30 years, he put over 60 of his clients behind bars. Johnson's colleagues said he was the chillest dude imaginable. He had a good heart, too. One time, a woman hired him to whack her violent boyfriend. When Johnson found out this guy regularly beat her, instead of sending her to prison, he put her in touch with social service agencies. He also found her a therapist and got her a place in a women's shelter. The defense in the trials would usually say Johnson manipulated his clients into requesting a murder, but he didn't see it that way. He once said, "That's all my job is, to help people open up, to get them to say what they really want, to reveal to me their deepest desires." He never killed anyone, but there is no doubt that Gary Johnson was the greatest fake hitman the world has ever seen. Which of these insane cop stories blew your mind the most? Was there one that left you speechless or had you on the edge of your seat? Let us know in the comments below. Now you need to watch victims who ended up being the bad guys, or have a look at this video instead.
The conspiracy theories that turned out to be true.
Crazy conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. Operation Acoustic Kitty. During the Cold War as a whole, and specifically during the spy craze, the U.S. government invested a lot of money into unique intelligence collection methods. One of the more interesting examples is Operation Acoustic Kitty. This operation had a simple premise and hilariously failed almost instantly. And it's for that reason that I wanted to discuss it first. Essentially, the plan behind this operation was that the U.S. government was going to gather cats, train them, and then implant recording devices within these cats so that they could passively record any intelligence. And these cats would be trained to specifically hang out around sensitive areas. For example, outside government buildings, windowsills of important offices, social places that important people may hang out, and stuff along those lines. The theory was that if these cats were simply present in places where secret conversations were taking place, nobody would question a cat being around. Nobody would have their guard up against that. Little did they know, the cat would secretly be recording their information, feeding intelligence directly to the CIA. On paper, it kind of almost makes sense because, I mean, think about it. Everybody, when they see a cat in public, talks to it. And who knows? Some people, when they're down on the luck, they talk to their pets, they describe their life to their pets. So potentially, if there was a Russian spy hanging out near Washington, D.C., and he was just having a bad day, maybe he would have saw a stray cat and, you know, told it exactly what it was planning to do. Definitely seems a bit far-fetched, but compared to some of the stuff that the U.S. government did during this time, it almost seems extremely rational. Now, this is where things get kind of hilarious, because although the plan was strange but potentially logical, the entire operation almost instantly fell apart when it came to development. For starters, this entire operation cost over $10 million, which, adjusted for inflation in today's currency, is over $80 million. And that's just to train a single cat. Just one cat, mind you. The majority of this budget went towards developing the specific recording device that could be implanted within the cat, as well as developing the proper surgical techniques to perform the implant of this recording device into the cat. And then finally, the rest of the budget went into directly training this cat. Now, on a serious note though, I can only imagine how many cats died during the research and development of this entire ordeal. So, moment of silence for those cats. But back to the implantation. The government didn't just implant a recording device into these cats. They also tried to make a half cat, half cyborg machine because the CIA realized that these were just cats with microphones in them and they needed more assistants to be better equipped spies. So not only did they implant recording devices into these cats, but they also implanted the equivalent of wires and batteries within these cats to help make them more attentive. And the reason why they actually did this was because during testing and training, initially they realized that these cats were not going to be helpful spies. And quite often during long days of training, the cats would simply get bored and either go and sleep or go and eat mid-testing. And that was something that the CIA didn't appreciate. So every time that their test cat would become unfocused and do something that a normal cat would do, they decided to implant another wire to hopefully reprogram the cat's brain to make it a better spy. But even with all of these hiccups, the CIA decided to do some real-life field testing with their new cat spy, as they figured if they invested this much, they might as well at least try it. And it was at that point, after the CIA spent nearly $10 million on a single cat, that they took this cat to a park, where they released into a park with the intention of having the cat overhear a conversation between two men that they planted on a park bench. The CIA had a surveillance van beside the park where it was monitoring the entire situation, and upon this first test, the cat did not walk up to the park bench or hang out around any people at all. The cat essentially was dropped into the park, walked forward, and then walked directly into oncoming traffic and died. And with the untimely and tragic death of this cat, Project Acoustic Kitty died as well. And this project is kind of funny, but at the same time upsetting, because at least one cat died, and I can only imagine how many cats they tested their implants and experimental surgeries on, so. Oh, and did I mention that this video gets darker as the list goes on? Yeah, this is the most tame entry on this list. Let's keep going. The BCCI scandal. The BCCI, or Bank of Credit and Commerce International, was a global bank that was founded in 1972 by a Pakistani financier. This bank claimed to offer an anti-colonial alternative to Western banks. Its ultimate mission was to break financial barriers for third world countries. But in reality, this bank used fluffy buzzwords to cover up billions of dollars worth of bank fraud. Let me explain. In its first 10 years of business, the BCCI was growing rapidly, and it had over 4,000 branches in 78 countries. It had assets valued at over $20 billion USD. And at this time, it was the 7th largest private bank in the world. Pretty impressive, and once again, noble, because they're just here to help out the little guys, right? Well, unfortunately, their image didn't last long, because large banks, specifically Western banks and other financial institutions, became very suspect of the success of BCCI. And during the 1980s, financial regulators and intelligence agencies began to express their concerns that BCCI may be poorly regulated, to put it kindly. And not too long after these concerns began bubbling, investigations began and revealed the true purpose of BCCI. And the fact that this bank was involved in a massive money laundering scheme, as well as multiple other financial crimes. And not only that, but was also intentionally and successfully illegally gaining a controlling interest in a major American bank, something it was not allowed to do. In 1991, almost 20 years after BCCI was founded, it became the focal point of a massive regulatory battle. And on July 5th of that year, bank regulators in 7 different countries raided and locked down branch offices during an operation that was known as Operation Sea Chase. And during the investigations that followed this operations, investigators from the US and the UK determined that the BCCI wasn't set up to help the little guy, but it was set up deliberately to avoid centralized regulatory review and operated strategically in bank secrecy jurisdictions, where they do not need to disclose the same amount of information that Western banks may need to. Due to the lack of regulation, this bank had become the global hub for money laundering, which directly benefited and supported terrorist groups and massive drug lords globally. And on top of that, the BCCI was literally a Ponzi scheme that was run by its executives. And in 1991, when the bank was officially defunct, over $10 million were stolen directly from customers of this bank and simply never accounted for. The bank that simply wanted to get away from Western banks and help the little guy and break financial barriers for third world countries actually just ran a massive Ponzi scheme that not only subsidized terrorism, dictatorship, and drug trade, but also literally stole billions of dollars from their customer base as well too. The tactics used by BCCI are still used today in more recent massive Ponzi schemes, like for example FTX, both of which were giant Ponzi schemes that acted outside of the US government's jurisdiction. And I'm not saying that the US government should control all financial activity, but shady players definitely love to avoid US regulation. And while being defrauded out of billions by your bank sounds awful, it's still not nearly as bad as some of the entries on this list. Okay, this might be off topic, but what do you use to listen to music? Chances are they're not as good as today's video sponsor, Raycon earbuds. Raycon earbuds offer a premium quality listening experience without the premium price tag. And Raycon's latest model is their best yet. With a 32-hour battery life and multi-point connectivity, they also have active noise cancellation and charge extremely fast. I'll be honest, I've never experienced noise canceling. And believe me when I tell you this, active noise canceling is a game changer. I used to wear the wired Apple earbuds to the gym, and the problem I always had was I would still hear the gym's music over top of my music, and it just sounded like a bad remix all the time. With Raycon's active noise cancellation, I didn't have that issue. These earbuds are ergonomically designed to comfortably fit the widest range of ears. And on top of that, they look great. Unlike other brands, they offer a wide range of colors. I opted for the carbon black, but they also offer royal blue, lavender, forest green, and more. And on top of just having a pretty earbuds case, they also offer protective cases with cool designs. I opted for the concrete ones. So if you're interested in getting a quality pair of earbuds at an affordable price, go to buyraycon.com/TMB to get 20% off the best-selling everyday earbuds. Brought to you by Raycon. And if you're still on the fence, Raycon is offering a 30-day happiness guarantee return policy with no questions asked. So there's really no risk to give them a try. Check out my link in the description to get your pair today. And thank you, Raycon, for sponsoring this video. The FBI spying on John Lennon. We're already back to the Cold War. During this time, a lot of stuff went down, so expect to hear about it a lot in my conspiracy series. Regardless, during this time, there was a battle of ideologies taking place. Capitalism versus communism. And during this time, in the 1960s and 1970s, communism was growing in popularity domestically within the US. And this fear sparked the US government to start a program known as COINTELPRO. And while I could make an entirely separate video only describing the happenings of COINTELPRO, I thought I would give a brief description and focus on one of the unique happenings. Specifically, the reason why they spied on John Lennon and other celebrities at the time. The US government saw the growing popularity of communism as a domestic threat that was set on destroying the country from within. And because of this, they thought the best course of action was to spread negative propaganda against those sharing communist ideologies. One of the more famous examples of this was John Lennon, specifically when he moved to the US in the 1970s. He was one of the most famous people in the world at the time, and he was very outspoken politically, which made him a target for the FBI's surveillance, specifically because they feared his influence on young voters. Ordered by J. Edgar Hoover, Lennon was closely monitored by the FBI and was even threatened with deportation over his political views. Now, obviously, COINTELPRO did a lot more than just spy on John Lennon, but I thought it was an interesting point to focus on for this short segment. But beyond the debatable motivations of COINTELPRO, it was unsurprisingly operating illegally, primarily undermining the First Amendment rights of civilians. There is actually a leaked COINTELPRO memo that proposed a plan to expose the secret pregnancy of famous actress Jean Seberg because she was a financial supporter of the Black Panther Party, a party that was pushing Marxist-Leninist ideals. And the reason why the FBI wanted to expose this pregnancy was because it could possibly cause her embarrassment or tarnish her image with the general public. Now, keep in mind, at the time, it wasn't fully confirmed or even known that the government was literally spying on and actively discrediting those with communist views. But some people had a suspicion. And although in 1972 Richard Nixon won the election, the entire operation of COINTELPRO was exposed. And these expositions led to a congressional investigation into exactly what the FBI was doing with COINTELPRO. And this investigation fortunately exposed exactly what the FBI was doing and led to massive reforms within the intelligence community, primarily by reducing the FBI's power as a whole. And it was with that congressional hearing that the COINTELPRO program was ended, although it did still operate from 1956 all the way up until 1971. So yeah, COINTELPRO operated for almost 20 years uninterrupted.
Ooh, that is one thick wood. Okay, I don't know how long that fence is gonna hold, so let's chop off a few pieces and see if we can get this old furnace running. And yes, nice! Now I can build a saw and try and cut down that big brown log, and ooh, I can also build some houses. How about 1, 2, and maybe 3? Yes, that's gonna give me so many more survivors and we can build a lot faster. Wait, what's going on? Oh no, these guys are trying to steal my log! But I have an idea. If I build a dam up here, I can stop the flow of water, and it worked! Now these guys are just sitting ducks. I can block...
Spying on influential people who shared communistic views. And while one notable example is the fact that they spied on John Lennon and tried to have him deported, and maybe did other things, this entire operation actively spied and discredited hundreds of people, and then some. The CIA trafficking cocaine. This story is wild and takes a few turns, so buckle up. Our story begins in Panama, a relatively small country, but a country that is extremely vital to the US military and global economy, specifically because of its canal, the Panama Canal. Throughout the 20th century, America actually ran the Panama Canal directly, with military bases spread across the entire canal. And this was strategic for the US government because during this time, once again in the Cold War, the USA was specifically concerned with Russia trying to get a bit friendly with South America. And because of that, the Panama Canal was a good checkpoint to make sure that everything was going to America's liking. And because of how strategic the Panama Canal was to America, America and Panama had a very good relationship. Now this is where things get interesting, because at the time, the head of military intelligence in Panama was Manuel Noriega, someone who was previously trained by the FBI in general technical skills and leadership skills, something that America did for a lot of South American leaders to gain favor, essentially thinking that if they could train South American countries how to have strong leaders, they would be more faithful to America, the country that taught them how to have stronger leadership. And Panama was no different. But like I said, this is where things get sticky, because Noriega was an asset to the American government because he was actively controlling the Panama Canal through his position as the military intelligence leader. But he was also playing both sides of the field, because not only was he acting essentially as a spy for the US government, but he was also acting in his own self-interest as a drug smuggler, specifically by providing protection to drug shipments going from South America to North America, and globally. Now this is a conundrum, similar to the Iran-Contra affair, which I discussed in the last conspiracy theory video. But in regards to this situation, the government is actively having an ally who is helping them, but is also actively protecting drug smugglers from his own country and other South American countries, and essentially letting them traffic their drugs onto American soil. The question is, Did America know, and how much did they know? And while we can't know for sure, it's heavily assumed that the government knew exactly what was going on, and not only allowed it, but also protected it. I feel like there's no way the US government wasn't aware of this, because in 1972, the US government actually planned on potentially assassinating Noriega because of the smuggling that was going on. But they didn't, because they deemed he was too much of an asset. It makes you wonder, because why would they consider assassinating an asset if they weren't doing anything wrong? Unless, of course, they knew they were doing something wrong, which was later exposed. That was until 1989. As time went on, Noriega became less and less useful to the US government as the Cold War came to a close and the war on drugs began to grow. And Noriega was becoming less of an asset and more of a liability and a target. And because of this, in 1989, the US government liberated Panama to relieve it of its dictator, Manuel Noriega, which is ironic because this is the exact same person that the US government was subsidizing, essentially. And not only that, this liberation was ordered by the president at the time, George H.W. Bush, who was also previously the head of the CIA, the agency that literally had Noriega on salary. Anyways, Noriega was eventually caught after a pretty bloody battle that happened in Panama, and the rest is history. The U.S. government allowed a drug-dealing dictator to have full control of Panama because he was helpful in providing intelligence to the U.S. government. But once the U.S. government didn't require this intelligence anymore, and this military dictator got a bit too much power, the U.S. government decided that it was the perfect time to liberate Panama once it was convenient for them. Makes you wonder. And somehow, we still have more to discuss. The false positives scandal. This case is truly disturbing, and actually doesn't involve the U.S. government. It's not a mystery or a conspiracy that some South American countries struggle with dangerous groups typically associated with drugs, gaining power and influence typically via violence. Naturally, the government wants no opposition to power, and besides this, they definitely don't want people terrorizing their own citizens. And it's for that reason that the Venezuelan and Colombian governments began fighting against these groups. Specifically, in this example, Colombian government was fighting guerrilla forces of the FARC and the ELN, two of the primary groups fighting against the Colombian government starting as early as 1964. But this conspiracy actually has nothing to do with these insurgency groups, and has everything to do with the Colombian military. While these internal conflicts were happening, some members of the Colombian military decided that it would be a bright idea to, instead of finding and defeating their enemy, they could simply find and defeat vulnerable people and display their bodies and count those kills as success for their movement. If I'm being vague, let me make it extremely clear. Members of the military and even civilians would lure typically poor or mentally impaired civilians to remote parts of the country, offering them work, saying, hey, do you want to work here? There's a work opportunity. And instead of there being a work opportunity, the military would then kill these people and present their bodies to the authorities saying, hey, look at all these opposing forces that we killed. We're doing a really good job fighting the war on drugs, the war on terror. You should give me a promotion. You should give me other benefits. And this wasn't a one-off case. This was something that actively took place for many years. And in 2021, the jurisdiction of peace in Colombia reported the total number of victims to be over 6,400 people between 2002 and 2008. Just that 6-year span. They also believe that there was over 10,000 victims between the years of 2002 and 2010. But keep in mind, there was investigations into these practices going back as early as 1988. So the total confirmed number could be way higher. This is honestly insane to think that these military members were not focused on fighting the enemy that they had. They would simply murder innocent civilians to inflate their success. For them to feel like they're doing a good job and hopefully get a few more bucks. Insane. Bayer spreading HIV. If the name Bayer instantly doesn't ring a bell, then the name aspirin definitely should. And this is another conspiracy that actually has nothing to do with the American government or any government at all. But it's likely one of the most horrific examples of a conspiracy that took place in the private sector. Bayer is a German pharmaceutical giant, and like I mentioned, is most known for aspirin. However, Bayer faced a massive scandal in the 1980s when one of its subsidiaries, Cutter Biology, was producing blood clotting products. Now, obviously, producing medicine and medical products is not a conspiracy or a crime. So what did they do? Well, here's the deal. The blood clotting products that they were making to help hemophiliacs actually ended up infecting thousands of hemophiliacs with HIV. This happened because the blood clotting product that Cutter Biology was developing required blood from donors in order to be made. And Cutter Biology was using blood from high-risk donors in order to save money when producing this product. And surprise, surprise, some of this blood that they were selling at scale was contaminated with HIV. And because of this, many hemophiliacs who were taking Bayer's medication were unknowingly diagnosed with HIV. This by itself is disturbing and truly upsetting, but it doesn't quite end there. Because there was already so many questions, like why are they using high-risk blood in something that is literally going to be affecting somebody's blood? And how do they not consider this being an outcome if they knew that they were using high-risk blood? But once this product was exposed for contaminating innocent people with HIV, the US government instantly demanded that Bayer stop selling its products within the US, which it did, although at this point thousands were already infected. And while Bayer did stop selling in the US, they didn't stop selling elsewhere. Sure. Bayer actually developed another product using safer blood, no-risk blood, and they sold them in Western markets. Yet, at this time, when they had developed a safer version of this product and knew that their old product was still giving people HIV, they sold their updated product in Western markets, but they still continued to sell their old product in these South American and Asian countries where they knew they were actively infecting people with HIV. Bayer continuing to sell these products resulted in around 20,000 people being infected with HIV, and it's one of the most blatant examples of corporate corruption and misconduct. After infecting tens of thousands of people and killing hundreds and thousands of people through the infection that they gave people, obviously justice was served, right? No. Not one person at Bayer or Cutter Biological served any time in prison or was given any personal repercussions. Bayer as a corporation paid a $600 million settlement, which was brought by thousands of American hemophiliacs, although that only gives some money to some Americans that were affected. Although the number sounds big, it's truly a slap on the wrist for killing thousands of people and profiting on it too. Isn't that a happy note? I told you this video didn't have a happy ending. Oh yeah, and I literally forgot to emphasize this point. Bayer infected over 20,000 people, but these people didn't know that they were infected and went on to infect thousands of others, and then those people infected others, and especially in these underdeveloped countries where these drugs were being sold, testing was low, education was low, so they could have very well infected hundreds of thousands of people. Like I mentioned in the last video, there is so many more crazy conspiracies that turned out to be true, and I can't cover them all in one video. So if you guys enjoyed this part 2 and want me to continue the craziest conspiracy theories that turned out to be true series, wow, that's a mouthful, please leave a comment below telling me that you want a part 3. And while I'm busy working on the next video, feel free to check out this video on screen right now. It's a video I made about how to escape North Korea. And in this video, I not only describe different ways you could escape North Korea, but I give detailed stories of how that would look to use that escape method. I think you'll love it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And as always,
Further Knight says Dr. Dre tried to have him killed at the time.
That was before I went to TireRack.com.
YouTube, the R Dialogue has 55K viewers in one day.
If you do a movie, you always say Universal doing the movie. Universal gonna create a production company. The reason why they create a dummy production company, in case they get sued, Universal don't get the hit, the production company get the hit. And they can always cancel that production company out and walk away from it. So, when they were doing straight out accounting, they had people they hired was getting $150 a day for doing security. If they want to give these guys extra money, it would come from the production company. And if Andre wanted to give these guys extra money, it would come from his business account, not his personal account. Like if I give you a check from my business,
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And you do something to get in trouble, don't fall on me, because you can be an employee or I can hire you to do something from my business account. If I give you a check from my personal account, that means I'm personally giving you something to do something for me personally. And the reason why Andre wouldn't give him a check from his business account, because he wanted to keep it a secret. But that's still stupid. So nevertheless, you had guys getting $150 a day. He gave guys extra money. One guy got a check for $20,000. And he went to the bank to cash it. So they had to call him and talk to him personally. Did you really get this dude in here with a dirty T-shirt on and army jeans to cash a $20,000 check? He had to verify and say, yeah. The problem with that, when they asked the guy, why did you get a $20,000 check? He said because he gave me $20,000 to kill Suge Knight. And he told that to more than one guy. So, when they called me, I pulled up at town, they was paid to kill me. I'm not the one said that. The people who got the money said that. Because they brought the checks to me, and to the PI, and to the lawyers when I was in the county jail. I'm locked up. Remember, I can't even use the phone. I can't even write nobody. Can't nobody write me. But at the same time, these guys sent a copy of the check and say, hey, show him this. I'm like, okay, why are you showing me? He said, because he want to know that Andre paid us to kill you. The only problem with that is this. If somebody paid you to kill me, which is murder for hire, and you get spooked, you can't do the job, and somebody get hurt, somebody even lose their life by accident. Good friend of mine, but he wasn't with me. Still my homie, though. So do that mean I'm supposed to go to prison? If it was anybody else, they wouldn't be in prison. Then you gotta remember one other thing. Right before that happened, I got shot 7 times. A sheriff gave some idiot a gun who started shooting. I didn't panic. Got shot one in my belly button, in my stomach, arm, back shoulder, right? I walks out the fucking club. The police were talking about shooting me. I get into the ambulance. They said, man, what's going on? Look, you fat motherfucker. Get me to the hospital. I get to the hospital. I don't know if all of them was doctors. But I know to me, it looked like maybe 10 or more people looking down on me. First thing they tell me, see if you can move this one of your toes. If you can't, don't panic. That don't mean it's permanently. I said, man, I can move my legs. It's time for me to have surgery. Somebody looked at me and said, you know what? That's a miracle. I said, you know what? It's a blessing from God. So, you trying to tell me 90 days before they tried to kill me at Thames, I got shot 7 times. And I didn't die. And next time somebody tried to kill me again, and somebody else get hurt, somebody else died, and I'm in prison, when, for a fact, they already get on the stand and one of the guys told the truth. I can tell you what type of gun this is. That's me getting the gun, putting it in my back waistband, putting the shirt over. This person had a gun. This person had a gun. The crazy thing about it, the guy who got ran over and all that shit, when he got on the stand, he came walking out with the judge. When they gave him immunity, it says he can't get in trouble. I thought he was going to let me go. And if we had a problem, we could have dealt with it right then and there. Instead, he said, when they first pulled a gun on me, he didn't tell me he pulled a gun on me. They said, I said, you'll be dead by the night. He also stated that when they came to the hospital, they had him handcuffed to the bed. If you're a victim, you're not going to be handcuffed to the bed. He also stated and said the DA wanted him to say, it's a gun. No, he said it in writing. He said the DA said he wanted to say it's a gun. Scratch that. The DA said it was a gun. He said you can say it was your radio or your walkie-talkie.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Only problem with that is in his car, that car never left camera view. His cell phone and his walkie-talkie was in the car. Only problem with that is, if a motherfucker get ran over, he all messed up. And I run over there to help him. The last thing I'm thinking about is grabbing a radio or walkie-talkie.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
And the radio and the walkie-talkie is too big to put in your back waistband and pull your shirt over. And the person who he handed to said it was a gun. So how am I in prison? How the fact that you gave people checks, and they said the reason why you gave me checks to kill me. And I'm not saying nobody should be in prison, including me. The only thing they had to do is steal today. They could have told the truth. And nobody was going to get in trouble. They got immunity. If I pull it up once, I'm going to pull it up again. We don't have to go through all this bitch shit. We don't got to make up stories. Don't use the police to take me out the streets. If you want to kill me, you want to kill me. If you fail trying to kill me, I'm not putting you in prison. Why would you put me in prison? If you pay money to have me killed, why get scared now? And when it's all said and done, at the end of the day, it's like this. Off that Apple deal, they could have did that Apple deal because of me and Jeff Rowe. And not to mention, I still, for the rest of Dre's life, I get 20% management commission. I never ended that deal with you. When people in your pocket, that's a serious situation. For as publishing, that's Shug's publishing. It says that. At the end of the day, I was controlling too much of the music industry. At the end of the day, they offered to buy my company more than once. At the end of the day, I declined to sell. At the end of the day, Michael Harris, you can hear the recordings. The FBI, the authorities said, if you can bring down Jeff Rowe, we'll take care of you. Basically, let him out of prison. Want to be able to do a steady time. Now, even though this guy never gave me a penny, if he did, I would say, if he says he put illegal money into Death Row, well, how is he Snoop's boss? Because he brought Snoop and said, we're going to do Death Row together. It's called You Can't Take Money from a Poison Tree and Make Something Right. Come from a poison tree.
Tough match, close game.
The Tupac Vegas incident. Give me a play-by-play of everything that happened today.
Well, it all started out, everybody went to Suge's house in Compton. It was me, Danny, Outlaws, my homeboy, Tyrone, known as Hurt 'em Bad, the Machiavelli and all that, was there. And when Tupac showed up, the first thing that caught my attention that he seen Tyrone and he was like, he just kept saying, Machiavelli Records, and I never heard that before. He's like, Machiavelli Records, Machiavelli Records. And I'm like, damn, he really gonna take Ty with him, you know what I'm saying? Because I know Ty was like, he was with B Brazil as an artist, but as a producer, he wasn't signed to Death Row. Suge gave him an opportunity to, when the whole B Brazil thing fell through, he let him become a producer. So learn how to be a producer, but pay him as a producer. So, but he wasn't actually signed. He was still an artist signed to Death Row. So I knew that he can actually go over to Machiavelli Records. I couldn't, because I was signed to Death Row. So I was happy for Ty with that, and I just, Pac was like super excited that day. You know what I mean? Like he was ready for that day, and it was like all of us had cars ready to go, Outlaws, and we just gathered up and just headed on the road to Vegas. On the way there, I was with Danny and Gaddafi from the Outlaws. I remember looking over to the side, we passed up Pac and Kadada, and we rolled down the windows, and he was listening to Nas, and I knew he had a problem with Nas at the time, but so it was like, tripped me out that he was listening to Nas' album, like he was studying that album, just listening to the album. He was in like full concentration, like he didn't look up or nothing, he was just listening to that album solid.
What album was it?
I don't know what album.
It was written?
Whatever album came out in 96. It was written?
Yeah, it was written.
Yeah, he was studying that album. He was into that album, like full stereo mode, like I'm not thinking about nothing but this album. And Kadada was riding with him. I think Edie might have probably put in the backseat or something like that. So after that, just being on the road, we was like, first of all, you gotta understand that road, that drive's like a 4-hour drive, like straight away down there. So after a while, we decided like, let's do 110. So let's just get there. And the weirdest thing happened. After everybody was going over 100 miles an hour, we ran to a complete, like this full-on rainstorm. It was dry and it was like, boom, complete rain. Everybody was, and I was sliding and everything along the way. We didn't think nothing of it. Get past that, we get to this stop to get gas or whatever. And next thing I start hearing all this ruckus going on. I'm like, what's going on? So I get out the car, I go, and it's like these school kids is getting into it with Pac. Now, me knowing Pac and knowing of Pac before Death Row, this is the last thing I would see Pac doing, was getting into it with some kids. You know what I'm saying? But he was so rah-rah, and it's like they was, just saying like real stupid kiddie stuff to him. But it was getting to him, and he was like, they had to hold him back to keep him from fighting these kids. They were just saying, oh, you ain't shit, you punk-ass motherfucker, and, bitch-ass nigga, just shit kids would say to somebody older than them that didn't piss them the fuck off, you know what I'm saying? Fuck if you Pac, nigga, I'm a young motherfucker, and I'm full of my energy, and you full of your energy. Man, that's it. And I'm like, damn, this is way beyond this dude, you know what I'm saying? So we get past that. Like, all these things going through my head. Like,
and for people that don't know, the incident you talking about, that was actually the incident Tupac had with the Pauley varsity football team.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. I just knew it was a school bus with kids on the school bus. You know what I mean? And they were still on the school bus. There was nobody off the school bus talking crazy. They was on the school bus. And he was being held back to, you know what I'm saying, stop getting into it with these kids on the school bus, which I felt like was way beyond like anything that he needed to do at that time.
So, right. Yeah, that was the incident I think he had with the Pauley varsity football team. I think it was at In-N-Out, right?
Yeah, it was In-N-Out. It was at a rest stop, but I think it had In-N-Out at it. And again, you gotta understand, all of this is with my mindset. I'm watching the progression of the Pac I met that was like this to this Pac to this Pac to this Pac to this Pac. You know what I'm saying? And beforehand, I started not coming to the studio so much just to stay away from that shit. Like, Hurt 'em Bad and D Hart was like, man, we working with Pac, won't you come? I was like, I'm gonna work on the One Nation album from a distance. You know what I'm saying? I'll present beats, but I'm not getting involved in the Can-Am shit that be going on down there. You know what I'm saying? It's too wild. It's too much other shit going on. You know what I'm saying? I love this dude to death, but man, I just gotta keep my distance at times. I didn't ran into too many situations where it's like we don't see eye to eye. You know what I mean? On what's going on or what's being done. Because, like I said, previous before that, I had somebody jumped in his clique.